Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to round 2 of the V8 Supercars online premiere series, brought to you by the guys at OSR, broadcasted by yours truly at V8s Online. We're here at the beautiful Montreal circuit. I'm your host, Daniel Bryant. With me tonight, Reese Gardner, Clayton Brooks, and a special guest, Corey Slade. How are we, guys?
Yeah, good, thanks, Daniel. Good evening, everyone. Pumped to be here after the last round. Can't wait to get into it.
It's good to have you here, Brooksy. How are you feeling, Reese?
Yeah, not bad at all. I'm really looking forward to this round, Daniel. One of my personal favourite tracks, and of course, you know, this is V8s Online, home of some of the best racing on the internet. I can't wait.
It's good to have you here, and of course, a guy who has been with us since the start, but he's disappeared for a very long time. Corey Slade, good to have you back, mate.
Yeah, cheers. It's good to be back. It's been a very, very long time. So, looking forward to it. Great track too. I absolutely love Montreal. So, looking forward to 2 great races hopefully tonight.
Yeah, it should be some fantastic racing after what we saw last week. But we've got something very special. Reese has put together a nice little video for us, like he did for us last week, about Montreal. So let's cross over to that.
Good morning / afternoon / evening, everybody. My name is Reese Gardner, and this is my V8 Supercar online premiere series fact file for the Circtuit Gilles-Villeneuve. On the St. Lawrence River in the heart of Montreal, the cultural capital of Canada, there lies a man-made island, and on that island lies a twisting, flowing piece of tarmac known to motorsport fans the world over. The Circtuit Gilles-Villeneuve is similar on paper to Australia's very own Albert Park circuit. It is located in public parkland and is public road for most of the year. It's technically a street circuit, but it doesn't really drive like one. Montreal is short, fast and twisty. The majority of turns on the track are chicanes, but here that is by no means a bad thing. It's got flow and character, and getting your lines right and being able to use the track's big curbs effectively is key to a good lap time. In order to find the genesis of this venue, we need to go back to the mid-1960s. The island the track is on, Ile Notre Dame, was built from 15 million tons of rock to house pavilions for Expo 67, a monumental World's Fair and exhibition celebrating Canada's centenary. After Expo 67 ended and many pavilions fell into disrepair, the island was then used for the rowing competitions in the 1976 Olympics, and sometime after that, it was decided that a racetrack be built on Ile Notre Dame. The track was completed in 1978, just in time to be chosen as the new home of the Formula 1 Canadian Grand Prix. And since then, it has changed little, apart from 2 chicanes being removed and the start-finish line being shifted from after the hairpin to its present location. Other minor reconfigurations aside, this circuit is largely the same as it was in the 1970s. The track has seen many years of action, and while the list of series to have raced on it is smaller than most, it's still a who's who of motorsports, Formula 1 obviously, as well as Champ Car, Grand Am and NASCAR. In V8's online terms, Montreal has always thrown up an exciting event, and it's sure to do the same tonight. Be sure to stay and watch the spectacle of big, heavy, lumbering V8 supercars slipping, sliding and bouncing around this famous racetrack. The Circtuit Gilles-Villeneuve, round 2 of the V8 Supercars online premiere series.
It's a brilliant little video again, Reese. Great work. Obviously, you've got a very fond connection here with Montreal. Any favourite moments that you've got around this track?
You talking real life or online?
Whatever, mate. Whatever's been the best for you.
Well, we've definitely had some amazing races with when in the V8 Supercar when it's visited Montreal and iRacing. Definitely some of the incidents that have happened in the final laps, hearing Steven Sandman Clark going absolutely crazy. But I have to say one of my fondest memories is way back in 2007. That was the first season of Formula 1 that I actually watched in full. And watching Lewis Hamilton cross the line to win the Canadian Grand Prix, his first F1 win, was quite special. And also, you know, just through the years in F1, plenty of interesting stuff has happened there. It's it doesn't seem like much of a circuit at first glance, but once you get into it, it has some amazing secrets and stories to tell.
Yeah, definitely one of my favourite tracks. I always love watching this one. Awesome fun to watch, awesome fun to race. And it's going to be another great cracking race after what we saw out of round one, which was fantastic. Obviously, you guys thoroughly enjoyed that. It's been actually really well received on the internet. We've had some really good views and some good feedback about it. So if you guys want to ask us questions, want to know anything, hit our Facebook page. Send us some messages or type something in on YouTube. We'll try and reply to them on the broadcast. We'll try and give you guys shout outs. So use our Facebook, use our YouTube. Let us know what you think about what's going on. If you want Reese to do any more videos for you, because we like making his workload terrible, we can get those on there as well. So just so make sure you join in and let us know what's going on.
I've got to say for mine, the online racing here, it's unbelievable. Not a particularly fond track for me personally, but the level of intensity, the close racing it provides, especially slowdowns on the chicanes, no one seems to be able to build gaps here. It always throws up terrific racing.
Yeah, it definitely provides some interesting racing. Obviously, Corey, you've probably done a few laps around here as well. What are your thoughts on Montreal?
I love Montreal. The walls are close, the curbs are big. It's it's basically a street circuit, so it's fantastic. But it's got a special place to me, and you'll remember this in a minute. This was the very first track I ever did a sim race in, back on R Factor in 2007. I remember you were there back then, and we were pretty average.
Yeah, I think we're on controls. I'm still average, but we were on controls. I think, if I remember rightfully, doing that one.
Yeah, R Factor, the old Xbox
with some
controls.
very interesting cars. Yeah, definitely. That was a lot of fun. But yeah, I do remember that, and I do love this track. So definitely some fun memories for me as well. So, all right, you guys want to quickly run through the details of this track? We're actually running. So this is the second split for the night. So these are the guys that just missed out on the top split, and then I saw the qualifying results really, really close. There wasn't much in it by the end. So when we say second split, these guys are still very, very talented drivers, and some big names in there like Stephen Sandman Clark, obviously. A few other big guys there floating around that could easily make it into the top split if they just had those few tenths either way. So it should be a very interesting race.
Yeah, most definitely. I think he's at 15 laps his first race. It's so no pit stops required, but it's going to be flat out. This guy's going to be sprinting so hard from start to finish. Everyone wants to win this. Shows them that they're capable of getting the top split next week. There's a good chance of a safety car here. The walls are close, like Corey mentioned, and you could easily get stuck in one, which will bring out a safety car. I've heard from race control, so. Yeah, we could have plenty of safety cars throughout the night.
So yeah, tonight we have the race will be 15 laps, but as Clayton was saying, if you do get a safety car, it is time certain to 30 minutes. So we could see a very real life V8 Supercar moment there, and go time certain by a lap or two. It is a great track. 4.3 kilometres, 13 turns. As Reece said, it doesn't look like much. A few chicanes, a hairpin, and some straights, but. It's very challenging, very demanding, and I've heard a few of the guys say they're struggling for grip out there at the moment. The temperatures are different at pre-qualifying, and it's a bit slippery. So,
yeah, I was talking to Jared Philsell, and he was saying that very loose in the back end compared to pre-qualifying. So he was trying to get on top of that before the race starts.
now, so almost time to go racing here for the second split of development series, whatever you want to call it. Like Daniel said, a lot of these guys could make it into that top split. The times are close. Actually, there's a little bit. The spread was a little bit more, I thought, than Road America. So it just shows how challenging this track is. It's a shorter lap time, but the times were spread out, but still very, very close.
I think it was only 3 and a bit seconds covering top 80 drivers in pre-qualifying, so it proves the level of competition. Only 1 and a bit seconds covering the top 40 for the top split, so if it throws up anything like we had at Road America, I can't wait.
Yeah, I was gutted that I missed Road America, so I had to jump here for commentating for this race, and looks like the warm-up is over now, so we'll be going to the grid soon. Cars now starting to take to the grid. Waiting for everyone in about 60 seconds. 2 minutes for all the drivers to get onto the grid.
Of course, Sandman's taking the grid in this race, but he'll be jumping up here into the commentary box to help all us guys get through the commentating for the top split. Should be good to have the master back in the comment box with us.
I don't know if he'll be disappointed that he missed the top split or happy that he can commentate. So I think in a way he'll be a happy man, but he's not starting too far back in this race. Just inside the top 10, so he's home for a good night. Still waiting for all the cars on the grid. Yeah, the road's starting to rise now, so the lights will be coming up.
Green.
And they're away.
Off and racing here at Montreal. Look at the
Going
field.
3 wide down into turn 1.
Yeah,
Henry King on the inside there.
This is scary stuff.
we got a spinner.
Middle of the field.
Oh, we got more spinners. Oh, goodness. Cars everywhere. Oh, wow. What a start this is. Oh, we got a car up on 2 wheels.
Dylan Shepherd almost rolled.
Oh, no spinning. Oh,
what is
my
going
goodness. What's happened?
Wow.
And there's a road.
Get ready to have a crossing down
There's a safety car. Track's blocked.
How are you doing there, bud?
4 and 3.
Look at that. Look at the cars. All
What a
trying to get
start,
through.
guys.
Oh,
Wow.
wow. Never seen a start to a race like that.
We said it could be crazy, but wow. We had 3 or 4 cars almost roll over there in the space of 3 corners. The track
Look at
was
it.
completely jammed.
I'm looking at Tyson Williams here, car number 548. His car looks pretty mangled. It's missing front and rear ends, and the engine is smoking.
Yeah, I think pretty much the entire field was involved in that some way.
Wow.
There is a lot of cars here that are missing front bumpers, back bumpers, rear wings, even boots are gone missing around the track, so...
Unbelievable.
It all started from Graham Follin getting spun around from a touch from Greg Sharp at turn 1, and it's all continued on from there. I think every single ERA car was involved in that accident in the field.
Get a couple of replays up in a minute for you. That was crazy. Like I've never seen a start where in 3 corners the track's been jammed. That many cars almost rolling over. Trying to see.
We'll go on board with Jamie Kingston from Lazyman Racing. Have a look at the carnage unfolding in front of him. Unbelievable.
Just
Going to
have
be a lot
look
of damaged cars for those next 14 laps.
Yeah, I reckon there's about a third of this field that are damaged. But just looking at the replay on my end, it looks like it was Greg Sharp who actually got into Graham Filand. And then it was Tim Foltz that sent him around. And then it was just a chain reaction all the way back to the pack. Because they started in P5 and 6. So that was a fair way out the front of the field.
We'll go on board with Tim Foltz and watch the start of this. He had a good view of how it all started.
Like I said, it was about 5th or 6th in the pack where it all started. And then as Graham went around, and then it was Greg Sharp and Tim Foltz getting together, and then a few of the ERA cars. It was like a big chain reaction.
I have to say, I have never seen a start like that before in any race, real or sim.
I'm still going through on my end trying to figure out who's not damaged. Because there's a lot of cars involved here.
The first 4 cars seem okay.
Actually,
talking about the top 4 cars, Bobby Jankovic actually leads this race from Reece Goldfinch, Simon Black running the Hog's Breath car, and right behind Henry King running the Hog's Breath car. That's your top 4. Your top 5 is Darryl Gale.
we did have a car roll actually. I just went through on my end again looking at replays. Graham Field ended up on his roof just out of turn 2, so it just went from bad to worse for poor old Bones.
He got punched around all the way from turn 1 all the way through turn 2 and ended up on his roof.
Looking now, there's a few cars out there that I can see that aren't damaged. That's a good thing for this race, but the big thing now is, you know, this could possibly be time certain with a safety car. It is restricted to 30 minutes, so that we can get on with our duties for the main race.
Well, just going through the field, the amount of damage on these cars, I don't know how they're going to get through some of these chicanes, especially some are missing complete rear ends. Downforce must be terrible. They're going to be understeering.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys, when we were racing at Road America a couple of weeks ago, we had a few threats of a safety car, but it never quite materialised. Well, I think the safety car entered this series with a bang. Many bangs on many cars.
I think it's, to put it into perspective, the top 5 cars, no damage, but P6, which is Stephen Sandman Clark, he's got no bonnet and the front's all pushed in. So from 6th place back, I think in one way or another are all involved in that one, unfortunately.
We've got guys coming into the pits now to repair their damage. Of course, in V8SCOPS there is a no escape rule, so you are not allowed to actually stop on track and escape back to the garage. You have to be able to drive back to the pits under your own power if you want to repair your car or refuel or stuff like that, unless of course you get a special dispensation from the stewards.
I'm wondering here if the car 100 Robbie Tomei's think we might get another safety car. He stayed out, he's got no rear wing, no boot, no rear bumper. That car is absolutely destroyed, but he's elected to stay out and hold 12th position. He did start his 25th, so maybe he's, half the deal he's made up already, so. Oh, I've almost had an accident further back in the pack.
Yeah, you're right though, you're right, Corey, that Robbie Tomei looks more like a Holden Cruise than a Holden Commodore right now. It's another thing he's going to watch. Some of these damaged cars are definitely going to hold up guys that have had repairs, so going to just lead to some carnage, I think, some frustrated drivers.
I think that's Robbie's hybrid Holden. There's a Commodore front and a Cruise back. Safety car lights are now out. See if we can make it through turn 1, 2 and 3 this time a little bit cleaner. The field all get ready. Remember, tyres are cooled out as well. They didn't really get far, but the tyres are still going to be nice and cold. Brakes might be a bit warmer, so that might help a bit in turn 1. Waiting now. The safety car will peel in a couple more metres. It'll go straight ahead at the chicane, and then it'll be up to the guys at the front to control the pace until the green flag. Safety car now pulls in. And we're back to green flag racing.
Ready, green
I'm
flag.
going to make sure the whole field get through the chicane alright too at the back. A little bit more spread out this time though, so that might help them down here into the first couple of corners. Tim Foltz almost made a move there on Sandman. There's now Sandman without his bonnet, a bit lighter. Making a pass up the inside there of Darryl Gale.
Yeah, nice move there by Sandman. Moves him up into...
he's
taking the wall.
That's it.
It's all over. He's taking the wall. This is exactly what I was saying about some cars not handling properly with the damage.
Oh, that was in a bad spot. I thought he was going to pull it over right around that kick there. That's it. Stay done for Sandman. The whole right side of that car is absolutely destroyed.
Oh, what a shame.
I've got another car on the back straight, just sitting there on the inside wall, GTI car, I think it is. Jeff Gucci, he's just escaped back to the pits.
Oh, there's been a spin out of the hairpin on the back straight. David Baxter involved there.
And Jason Black. Jason Black.
David Baxter, careful. Oh, actually, I think it's Jason. He might have escaped there without being cleared by the stewards, so that's not good on his behalf at the moment. But looks like David Baxter is going again. Just try and bring up a replay. They come out of the hairpin. I don't even know what happens. One car tripped up over another.
got Jake Kennedy in the shorts box for this race. He's going to have his hands full after 3 or 4 laps.
Yeah, he's in for a long night. Looking at the replay, looks like David Maxon maybe closed the gap a little bit there on Jason Black. Cars took each other and sent us both hard into the fence. Luckily not to spin back out on the straight. The cars are doing nearly 200 kilometres there. David Baxter continues with Jason Black now out of the race. But up front, it's all calm here. Bobby leading now over Reece Goldfinch by 1 second. And then Simon Black and Henry King doing a great job there in 3rd and 4th.
I'm having a look at this battle at 9th, 10th and 11th. It's going off at the moment. Rob Terrain in that Holden Cruise, followed by Will Dodd, Brian Borg and Craig Jones. Craig Jones applying heaps of pressure to the back of Brian Borg.
I was actually looking at there before, there was 2 or 3 guys that had Marcus Ambrose liveries on their Falcons, and I think Brian Borg's the only one left with a straight one.
Yeah, of course in the new Worth livery that Ambrose will be running next round.
We've come by now, starting lap 6. We are already 12 minutes into this race, so it's going to be, I think it will be pretty close. I'm not very good at math, but I think we should just squeeze it in at the moment. Probably something I should leave Reece to do, try and work out time versus laps around here.
We're stayed with this battle of Brian Borg and Craig Jones. Currently battling for 11th and 12th position. With Will Dodd in 10th and Rob Terrain in 9th, just in front. With Rob Terrain's doing huge damage. I don't know how he's got that car still up to speed and tracking straight, but he's doing a good job nonetheless.
Yeah, I have no idea how that guy's still driving out there. Like I said, the whole back of the car is completely gone. So, but maybe it's quicker in a straight line. He's doing a good job out there, but Will Dodd too, he's got a fair bit of damage to his car, missing the bonnet. Front left fender's gone, the bumper's all bent in, the rear bumper's gone as well, 3 wings bent, so...
We'll just jump on a replay. Tim Foltz and Darryl Gale going into their hairpin. Tim Foltz got the move done.
That was a nice... I think it's all understeer there. The Marlboro car. Darryl Gale. Good understeer there on the edge of the hairpin and easy 50s there for Tim.
He'll set his eyes now on Henry King, who hasn't fallen off the back. He's just following Simon Black around, sitting in 3rd and 4th, those 2 guys.
Now, last time by Tim ran a couple tenths faster, so a couple more laps will be right up there. Jeez, it's great to see how close these guys get in the walls. That is absolutely why I love this track. The walls are so, I love street circuits. It's something that I think we need more of in iRacing. Very committed.
Bobby Jovanovic is out to 1.6 seconds lead of this race over Reece Goldfinch. He's got a further 2.7 seconds back to Simon Black, so top 3 are pretty well spread out.
Oh, we got a spinner. Sorry, we got this poor Grohl, the redback car is spun. Got a chicane, there's no one around him, so he's got going again. I'm not sure if he's collected the wall or not. We'll try and get a replay of that one going on. Just gassed it up out of the chicane a little bit too hard. Just tap the wall there, so he'll be right.
Craig Jones, he's past Brian Borg, and now he's all over the back of Will Dodd, the other GTI car in that group. Got a great run out of the hairpin and down that straight. Yeah, Craig Jones definitely looks like fastest guy in this little group, half a few laps. We'll just cross over to Reese. I think he's got something for us from pit lane.
Yeah, I have, guys. I've been talking to the stewards, and they've definitely got their hands full, to say the least, with all the incidents happening throughout the field in this race. But they have come to some sort of a decision on lap 1. It's going to be a post-race review for that incident, because simply too much happened for them to make a decision on quickly. So they're saying that there's probably at least 7 penalties to hand out for that particular lap 1 incident. So we're going to have to look out until after the event finishes for a decision.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. Like I said, I think we had about a third of the field involved in that one, so I don't blame him for looking into it after the race. Looking now.
We've got 8 laps to go. Will Dodd is taking the defensive line. 8 laps to go. He must be feeling the pressure from Craig Jones.
Like Craig's going to have a look up into the chicane. He broke pretty late. He's going to pull it up. All looked a bit simple, actually. I thought he went in massively deep.
Yeah.
But I think Will, he's got on the defensive. He's made up 8 positions, or 10 positions rather, from his starting spot. So trying to hold a good result. There's a few guys here that have made up quite a few spots thanks to the first few lap incidents.
Yeah, just have a look at the gains and losses. This group that we're talking about, Brian Ball, with him and Josh Sawtell. Josh Sawtell up 20 positions, running his 13th from 33rd on grid.
Daryl Gale, sorry, he's fenced it. And the tyres, there's a bit of damage to the whole left-hand side of the car. Missing the front left guard, off the rear as well. He was running in P6, and he's now fallen in, I think, about 7th or 8th. But he was one of the lucky few actually that didn't get involved in the first lap accident. His car was straight.
Just in front, Jason Bentz, big slide out of the chicane. Managed to keep it off the wall and get going again. He's lost the position to Daryl Gale. This battle for 3rd and 4th still rages. Henry King still out in the back of Simon Black. And actually, overlooked, Simon Black's caught up a lot to Reese Goldfinch. He's brought in 1.5 seconds over the last two and a bit laps.
Yeah, this top four's getting a little bit closer. I'll tell you that, I do love those Hog's Breath cars. Yeah, I was looking at them before in the practice. They look quite nice, especially running out there together.
Yeah, it's a bit of a thing the OSR guys are putting on tonight, just burning talks with Hog's Breath. So just sort of showing what's possible within the sim racing community with the Hog's Breath themed cars. So good luck to those guys with their endeavours. Of course, if you've got anything you want to know from us, get onto our Facebook /v8online.com. All the messages, any posts, photos, throw them all up there for everyone to see, and we'll do our best to answer any of your messages.
I think we had Daniel on it.
Brian Ball's got a slowdown penalty by the looks of this, Corey. Got to drop him out of that pack.
That's in such a bad spot too, because like I said, it's so tight around there. Right, he's up and going again now. No, he hasn't. He still hasn't cleared the slowdown.
Oh, it's costing him a lot.
So he's dropped from 11th now. He's back in about 14th place. Unlucky there for Brian. It was in a good battle, and he's just had a bit of an offer again. But I think we had Daniel.
Oh, sorry, Craig Jones down the inside of who is that there? Jason Bentz at the hairpin. Oh, come together. Craig's onto the grass.
There was a bit too much rotation there in the apex.
Drag race here. Ford versus Commodore. Unfortunately, I think the Ford fans will be loving this one. It seems to be pulling away down the straight. Oh, he pulls in.
I was never in doubt, Corey.
That could have been a big accident there. He pulled out right as Jason hit the brakes. So yeah, hopefully next time around the Commodore can get him, eh?
I'm hoping.
Now, just quickly, I'm not sure what's happened to Daniel, because he was out here before and monitoring all the social media side of things on the Facebook and that. So hopefully we can get him back soon. Have a look now. Looks like Reece Goldfinch has fallen off the lead a little bit here. The gap now at 2.5 seconds, and Simon Black's really starting to close up on the back of that Falcon.
Yeah, the gap's at 1.3 seconds at the moment. Slow down will drop. Reece Goldfinch down 2 positions as Henry King's there ready to pounce. We've got 5 laps to go, or I think about 10 minutes.
Okay,
About 9 minutes. 9 minutes we're told.
So, yeah, they might just get it in. No more safety cars. Yeah, Tim Bolts. Sorry, just looking back at the pack at the same time. So Darryl Gale now and Tim Bolts. I love this straight. The draft always helps come down to the chicane. But Darryl thinks twice about it. I'm surprised actually. I haven't seen anybody hit the last corner, or the last corner, which is infamous for that. Everyone's
the World Champions.
Yeah, well, as I say, I think back in the pack there, Joshua Sawtell almost did. There's a lot of bent cars. Just looking back, Robbie Tomei now, he's also dropped back to 17th place. So the Comma Cruise, or whatever you want to call that thing, the hybrid Commodore, is falling back slowly. The car behind him trying to make a pass has got the same problems. No boot, no bumper, no wing. They almost touched.
They have a little touch coming out of turn 2.
Take it easy.
I'm not sure if Robbie will care too much. There's enough left at the back of that Commodore. Maybe a tail light if you can break it.
Yeah, Nathan Leskin just behind them, ready to pounce at any opportunities. He was unfortunate at the start, got a lot of damage.
Sandman, who will be in the commentary box for the main race, like a bit of a reunion. Me, Daniel, Sandman, just missing Jay now. But Sandman, who's joking about finishing last, but he's currently 6 laps down and in 33rd. So I don't think he'll get his wish of being last.
Oh, we got a spinner, Robbie Tomei almost. Oh, no, that wasn't Robbie Tomei. I think that was
Trent Thomas.
who was that? Trent Thomas. Yes, Trent Thomas. He had a bit of a drift moment at the hairpin there. Good to see him recover that, but I think he's lost a position or two due to that.
Bobby Jovanovic on the front here, just creeping this gap out ever so slightly. It's out to 3 seconds now. He's on lap 13, so I think we're going to get this in just, even with the safety car. Just behind that, Simon Black is almost in reach of Reece Goldfinch. He's running out of time to get it done though.
Yeah, Bobby's certainly stamped his authority on this race, led from the very first corner. Was lucky enough not to be involved in the accident, and he's just driven away after the safety car. It's been clinical from him tonight.
Sorry, Clay.
I was going to say, we might jump on board while we do a lap with Bobby. See how it's done around here.
Oh, big moment.
Oof.
Oh, almost threw the lead away there. I was just about to say, he's making it look relatively easy there. But it'll be kind of a what-if night for Bobby. Because he's, you know, I wouldn't say walked away with it, but he's at the 4 seconds of the lead now, and he would have only just missed out on top split. I'm sure all these guys, you know, as much as winning is great, you know, it means so much more being in that top split. So good for the confidence though. Good for laps in the car. To be out there, out the front, looking up the tyres, pulling away.
Yeah, on board there, you can see the lines you've got to take through the chicanes. You've got to be millimetre accurate.
And also, as I mentioned in my fact file video, using the curbs is also quite beneficial when you do it correctly, of course. There's a bit of a knife edge with the curbs on this track as Bobby Jovanovic comes across the line to start the final lap of the race.
Yeah, that last chicane there, he was lucky not to get a slowdown. He took a lot of that first part of the chicane.
Yeah, you need to take quite a bit of the curbs, but not too much, because, yeah, as you said, you can either get a slowdown or the car can be pitched around the last possible second.
Looking at positions 6, 7 and 8 here, Tim Faults, Gale and Craig Jones. Craig Jones been on fire. He's just ranged up on the back of anyone who's been in front of him. Having a good battle on this last lap.
Yeah, well, last time by Tim Faults at a 39.0. Darryl Gale a 38.7 and Craig Jones a 37.5. So he's quite a bit faster than at the moment, but he's only got about half the track to go. So about 2 and a bit kilometres left to try and make a pass. Meanwhile, back up front, Bobby Jovanovic has rolled out of it a little bit. Gets down only about 3 seconds now, but he's only got 3 odd corners to go. He comes out of the hairpin there. I think it's the slowest corner actually in the championship. That I can think of.
Yeah, you're going all the way down to first gear and winding on all of the lock, and you can barely just get around the corner as it is.
Comes down now into the final chicane. 2 corners and probably the wall that's got the most victims around this track. He's going to take it nice and easy, a lot of curve. As he comes out, punches out of the corner. Bobby Jovanovic will take the win. A nice win too. He's got about 3 odd seconds back to Reece Goldfinch. And Simon Black just couldn't get there in the end. Closed up, it wasn't enough.
Yeah, terrific race from those top few guys. As we go back to this battle, Tim Faults, he leads through this. Craig James having a big look at Darryl Gale there, wasn't able to get it done. So the positions stay the same. Faults in 6, Gale in 7th, and Jones in 8th.
Looking back in the pack now, a couple more cars come to line. Adam Highland there, looked to make a move. Joshua Sorso couldn't get it done as those guys come to the line. Oh, David Baxter! David Baxter with 2 corners to go, he's stuck into the fence. Watch out the rejoin here. There you go, here's Trent Thomas. Might get him. Not quite, Baxter holds on to 17th just. That was an unfortunate way to end the race there.
We get a replay of Dave Baxter, what happened there. Sure if there was contact. Oh, he just crossed it all up under brakes.
Yeah, looking at the closing rate there, I think he probably a little bit later than he wanted to. Just locked him up right at the end. He only dropped 1 spot though from what I saw.
Wow,
And
what a
Dylan
race.
Shepherd. Dylan Shepherd in car number 43 crosses the line, the last car on the lead lap.
There's your winner, Bobby Jovanovic. Back onto the pitch straight. Might do us a few burnouts. Yeah.
That was a good race by that. He did a really, really good job there. He, just knuckled down. Even after the safety car just pulled away. He lights him up there. Tries to light him up on the start-finish line. And here's just a pointless fact. Graham Filan, everyone knows him as Bones, only finished 1 lap down after being on his roof at turn 1.
Yeah, it's a good effort.
Very nice recovery.
For him. Yeah, being at the pointy end of the field, he wouldn't be happy with that, but at least he got the job done and got some points. As we might go through the race results. So it was Bobby Jovanovic in first, followed by Reece Goldfinch. Simon Black third. Fourth went to Henry King. Greg Sharp in fifth. Sixth went to Tim Foltz. Seventh for Gale. Craig Jones in eighth. Jason Bentz in ninth. And Luke Edmonton was our 10th place.
Yeah, Will Dodd there, P11. There's a lot of damaged cars. That little battle pack was actually pretty good there, those damaged cars. But Will Dodd, Joshua Sawtell, Adam Hyland, Richard Allwood, Nathan Leskin, Jamie Kingston, David Baxter, Trent Thomas, Robbie Tomei in his Cruise Medor or Comma Cruise, whatever you want to name it. He ended up finishing in 19th, and Paul Gorrell there in 20th.
Yeah, then we went down to 21st as Mark Fee, followed by, Michael Ford. Dylan Shepherd, 23rd. He, as we mentioned, he was the last car on the lead lap. After that, we had Borg, Chidcutty, Filan, Party, Carr, Black, and then Chris Hogan in 30th.
Stephen Clark there. Sean Thomas was in 31st and Stephen Clark in 32nd. He will be joining us now for our second race. I don't know if he's going to be happy or not. So it'll be a bit touch and go when he first gets in. Tyson Williams, Robert Hooper, Jeff. I'm gonna butcher this one. Gouchy, and John Mifsud. So I've been out of this commentary thing way too long. He rounds out 36
I get them wrong every week anyway, Corey. It's all right. Apologies to everyone out there.
Good race tonight, buddy. It was crazy. That first lap, though, that was absolute carnage.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we're going to see the same thing from the top split. Hope not. I mean, obviously, you don't want it to determine people's races. There's been a lot of practice put into it. Anything can happen.
And I believe we have Daniel back.
Yeah, I'm back now, guys. I've been watching on social media to see if anyone wants to throw in a few comments about the race or wants a bit of a shout out. So if you want a shout out, jump on our social media, jump onto facebook.com/V8SOnline and throw us a shout out on that. Tell your friends that the main split's about to go live, because after that first race, you're just going to have to watch this main split because that was mayhem.
Right.
I'm not sure how long we've got until the qualifying of the main split starts.
Not
I'm
too
just
long
heading
now
over
until
there now.
Couple
to
minutes.
the qualifying, guys. We're just loading up our sessions now, guys, and we'll have some footage for you. Some big names in that second split that would easily make it into top split in any given week. Obviously, Henry King is a guy that you would expect to see in main split now and then, so it'll be good to see him fighting through the ranks. Brilliant job by Bobby, though. Fantastic win at Montreal.
As we're joined now by Sandman. Mate, not the best race for you.
Mate, I don't know what to say. I got off to a good start, managed to miss the carnage at that first couple of turns, and thought, how good is this? I think it was in P6 and under safety car, and we crossed the line first lap round just chasing the safety car, and oh, mate, there was a car parked just on pit exit, just waiting for the field to come round, and I tried to take the right-hander at the hairpin, and I just understeered right into him and killed the car. I just can't believe it happened.
Yeah, sorry, mate. I think we did have you on camera. Yeah, just made a pass on a car, and we were just commenting on it when it went into the wall. So,
actually, no. I had a drama before that. So this was actually under safety car. Crashed under safety car.
Oh, okay. So the car wasn't handling very well at all for the restart.
No, just a little bit of damage that I got under the safety car. Managed to get my position back into P6 and got going and made a move up the inside. The car felt really good. I got good traction out of that hairpin and turned in for the right left, and as soon as I went to turn left, she just fired into the wall. So yeah, it's just one of those nights, unfortunately.
Yeah, mate, you definitely weren't the only one out there with damage. There was a lot of damaged cars, so bad luck, mate, and get ready for next round.
Yeah, bring it on. Great racing, though. Well done to Bobby. Great steerer, and he kept his nose clean. And while I got the chance, I'm going to say I'm going to apologise to Jeff Gouchy, I think it was, that I hit. I feel like such a dill. That thing just understeered and went straight into him. So it killed the car, killed my night, and I think he'd already been caught up in all the dramas at turn one. So sorry, Jeff, but let's bring on the next round.
On the positive side, at least I know how to say his name now. Gouchy, not Gucci.
Well, I just assumed it was Gouchy. I'm probably got it wrong as well.
All right, guys, we've probably got one of the most hated people in V8s online at the moment, Jay Kennedy, the guy with the whip. How you going, Jay?
I have an ice cream headache. My pen has run out of ink from writing down penalties that we still need to review, and we're going to have a late night.
How many of these penalties, Jay, are for Sandman? Does he get a penalty just for being out there?
I think there possibly will be one.
Yeah, I think there might be two.
Yeah, I think so.
Distracting drivers with his bald head?
Yeah, I think he didn't have enough anti-glare on the inside of his car, so it was sun in other people's eyes. So
I'll do it.
Sandman, that was unfortunate with the incident with Sandman, but yeah, we're gonna have a bit of a break from that. We'll go and watch qualifying for top split now.
Get ready. It's only a couple minutes away now. The qualifying, the guys out there doing their final practice runs, probably all doing qualifying simulations. We're surprised if anyone's actually out there doing race run at the moment.
I think the interesting thing for these guys out there is that the wind is really, really swirly.
Yeah, I was talking to one of the drivers earlier, and they were saying that the weather from pre-qualifying to now is a fair bit different, and the track was rather slippery, so might cause a few headaches for a few people out there in qualifying. Need to be thinking quick with the setup changes.
Yeah, I said before talking to my guy, Jared Philsell, he was really struggling to get the back end settled. He said it was very slippery. Not sure if everyone was feeling the same thing, but I'm guessing they were with the weather conditions.
We've only got 2.5, 3 minutes go before qualifying. Just at the moment, this will keep you happy, Clayton. Jared Philsell, top of the times in practice. Always a good way to start the night off.
Yeah, he's a little bit worried. Madison Down reckons he's got a lot more in it. He doesn't know if he's lying or not, so he's hoping he doesn't, obviously.
Never trust a redhead, mate. They'll throw it out there. But Jared Philsell, fantastic race from him last fortnight. I used to say last fortnight. Fantastic race from him at Road America. Obviously, he's probably not going to let the same trick slip on him that Richard Hampstead pulled. So he'd be practicing his defensive techniques.
Yeah, either that or he's sacked, so he's better.
I was surprised at that not last week. No, I haven't been in the commentary box for ages, so I'm still doing it. Last round, I was very surprised with Jared, actually. I thought he went a little bit easy on Richard in that final lap. And after this, we've been basically driving Rich off the road. Keep on hot on the first, but...
Yeah, he's a bit of a gentleman racer. He never wants to bump into anyone, Jared. He's always very mindful of that. I've told him he could be a bit more aggressive from times, but nevertheless...
Take some advice from his fellow teammate Justin, I think.
Yeah, Justin was one of the most aggressive out there. Actually, Justin's even hinted at making a comeback to this series soon, so it could only be good for the spectators, I think.
Yeah, there's some obviously some real rivalry there with Justin and a few other drivers. So it'd be good to see him come back and get that going, get that bit of rivalry. It's always good to have the tension in the comm box.
I think a bit of aggression out the track's always good too. Some people hate it, but you guys know what I'm like.
Yes. We won't talk about certain incidents that happened a very, very long time ago.
But yeah, no, a bit of aggression's always good. Like I said, I mean, it was good. I mean, to have that much respect between those guys and not run each other off the road for the win of the first round. It's gonna be a tight championship. So if Jared loses this now by a couple of points, he's going to be hating himself for making it that easy. But it was, it shows a high level of respect from these guys. His last lap, 3 or 4 points to go, and he managed to, fight, but no cars are damaged. So I think it might be a little bit more. It might be a little bit more crazy here though. Like the walls are close, so and 45 laps around here.
Got to give a shout out to Josh Muggleton. He's out there tonight. He's got a bit more pace on board this week than what he did last week. Of course, you can catch him on that GT Academy every Saturday, I think it is, and Sundays it repeats. So watch that over the next few weeks.
Yeah, definitely. Fantastic show, that one. Obviously, we already know the results from it, but watch it, see it, enjoy it. But let's talk about the cars that have just hit the road. So they're on their way out of pit lane, getting ready to do their first hot laps.
Madison down there, out there first out. So it's a pretty good place to be. Then again, you have the guys at the end of this lap, or end of his fast lap, will be trying to get him into space. I think actually all a bit easy on these guys though, 30 minutes. I think the V8 Supercar guys at Adelaide had 10 minutes for the Sunday race.
Yeah.
So plenty of time for these guys.
Yeah, enough time to get in a lap, but last qualifying session at Road America, John Emerson come out, hit that really fast lap time. No one could beat it from there, so you know, let's see if we can get something like that again. It was a very high benchmark. Have a Madison down out front. This guy's good at setting a very high benchmark.
Actually, do we even have? I think we're missing Matty Hill and John Emerson tonight, two of the regulars.
They stated early in the week that they wouldn't be making this round, which is unfortunate, but it's time for someone else to step up and take it to Jared and Madison and Richard.
Yeah, the list goes on. You can sit there and rattle off name after name about guys, you know, who can win this race. And that's what's so good about this series too. I mean, this is so incredibly competitive. Anyone that sits here and watches them run out there, and they might be in 20th or 30th, they just don't understand how competitive this series is. Like, to be 30th in this is great. I mean, I'd be happy with 30th in this race, let alone qualifying. So, it's insanely competitive, and Jared and Richards and Madison's do tend to pop up most times. There is a lot of talent in this field that can win at the right time.
Yeah, definitely a lot of big names out there.
On
board
board, one of the big names, Madison down as we run through this first qualifying lap. Had a massive moment into turn one, a big lock-up. He stayed into it.
Does he think there's still something in it for him?
I think it'll be all about back putting in either a banking time, or of course they can't escape out, so you get back to pits if that tyre's too badly damaged. But I think it'll be more about just getting the banking time in first up.
He's still got clear track, and the next car ahead of him is his teammate, so I don't think he'll be too worried. Like I said, just get a banker in and go from there.
Oh, as I have a look back down the field, Kane has got down the inside of Aaron Hamilton on qualifying laps, trying to overtake him. And Aaron Hamilton's had to pull out of it. Yeah, Hamilton's had to pull out of it, and Kane's actually escaped. No, sorry, Aaron Hamilton's actually escaped back to pits. I think that's against the rules.
Yeah, that'll be his session done.
We'll leave that to the stewards.
Madison down now crossing the line. His lap time is going to be a 1:35.552. That puts him to the top of the timesheets for now.
So it's not that bad. In the practice, they were running 35 or high 35 fours. So Madison's only about half a tenth off what he did in practice. So we're pretty happy with that.
Yeah, it's a good lap just to get in there and have it on the sheets.
Oh, we got a couple of cars coming together. We got a car into the fence in front of Richard Hampstead. That is, what car is that, guys? Coming up to, giving TTR car a bit of a smash, Mr. Richard Hampstead. That was Sean Kelly, I think.
Tony Orchard's got big damage.
Yeah, it looks like.
And now he's going to be
Richard
careful
Hampstead.
because, he's got right in front of his teammate Josh Muggleton there. That'll be interesting right now on TeamSpeak, I think.
And Sean Kelly's escaped back to the pits, but he's back out on track now. I'm not sure if that is allowed, Mr. Kelly. I think the stewards might be having a bit of a look at that.
Yeah, it looks like looking from what the stewards have done, Aaron Hamilton has been disqualified from this session, so I think he'll have a lap time counting, so he'll be at the back of the grid.
Isn't that awkward? Two teammates running into each other in qualifying. But, Jake Burton goes to P2 with a 35.7. You'd be happy with that?
Yeah, Jake Burton has been doing many laps in the lead up to this race. He's put a lot of practice in, so he'll be very happy with that. Only 2 tenths off Madison down at the start of the session. Let's see how he improves as well.
Yeah, of course, Jake Burton, I think he was 5th in pre-qual, which is a very good effort as well, so definitely got speed to burn this week.
Tony Orchard now has pulled over. So, not sure if he's waiting confirmation to escape or if he's waiting for the traffic, but stopped in an awkward spot there. And he's going again, so he must be waiting for the field.
Oh, as Corey Preston completely misses the braking marker for turn 1 and just shortcuts it. It's his lap done.
A few guys still yet to put in their laps. Renz Brookman obviously not with his flying lap yet.
Yeah, he was a lot happier here than he was around America. I've spent around while I'm here talking to you guys. I spent pretty much all my other time either at work or talking to Renz. So, but he was a lot happier now with the car here. Thought he made a few improvements in the setup and got a little bit more comfortable. But he did do a big stint in the GT car. So, first time back in the V8 I think since not long after I stopped racing it. So.
Yeah, someone who hasn't put in a lap time yet that's fairly competitive, Jared Filsell. His quickest lap so far, 141. As he
slides for the hairpin.
Got a car, Michael Hammond, pointing the wrong way there, coming out of the chicane. That's an awkward spot too, because with this many cars, and there's 40 guys in there trying to qualify, and now I've got one of the ARA cars. Oh, but listen, almost this is actually in a very awkward spot. This many cars, there's not many clear gaps.
Oh. Michael Hammond's stuck in a very bad spot here.
Oh, and he's reversing. He's got to be careful here. Looks like Vale's trying to let him go. Vale was going to let him go, but he's still sitting there. So, he's really got to watch where he's reversing, because that could get him in a lot of trouble. He almost reversed there into George Maris.
no penalty handed out to Sean Kelly for escaping, so obviously he's worked out something there with his
I'm not sure if he did escape. I did see him driving around with no boot on the car, so whether he just blinked out and come back.
Yeah,
maybe.
I tried going back through to it and I couldn't see anything, so that's good for him at least. Oh yeah, our main guys out there still out there running. So it's still a Madison Down, still got P1, hasn't improved his time on that 35.552. A bit of a mixed top 10 at the moment. Madison Down from Jake Burton, Hampstead, McKnight, Muggleton, Aldridge, Corey Preston, Wayne Burke, Kurt Stenberg, John Latham.
Yeah, bit of a mixed bag. Josh Muggleton is looking a bit more comfortable in the car, saw his pre-qualifying results. He was sitting up there a lot better than what he was at Road America. So obviously he's starting to figure this out again and get his head around it. So we might even see him competing for a podium of this race.
Of course, a guy, George Maris, was, I think, second in pre-qualifying time. He's yet to set a time in this session.
Kurt Stenberg, our winner for the second split last week at Road America, is currently sitting in 9th for qualifying. So that's a fantastic result. We said he was fast enough to be in the top split, and there he is.
Yeah, he's a bit disappointed. I mean, I spent a bit of time with those guys for Road America, because I was going to race, but unfortunately I wasn't able to race on the Sunday, so I had to pull out. But, you know, he thought he had enough pace to get in to make top split, but on the final night he got knocked out into 41st, so he's a bit upset about that.
So we've got Jared Filson. Looks like he's currently on his flying lap trying to get a time in. So he won't be too happy, currently sitting in 32nd with a 141.
So as we're coming up, one-third
Maris
of the quality
now
session.
goes to third position. Comes in front of Richard Hampstead.
Good job there by George Maris. Richard Hampstead 1:35.949. He'll be looking to improve that. Obviously a bit of a battle even trying to get out of 4th to the top. Good Jared Filson getting a little bit shaky. He comes into the hairpin now. He's got a good run out of there, a little bit better than last time we saw him drifting around there.
So we are now over a third through the session, and there's still plenty of time. But some of these guys might be starting to think that they need to get on it a little bit more. Jake Burton probably thinks otherwise right now in second place.
Yeah, probably wants to.
Oh, Philso! He's tapped the wall. I thought he was going to roll it then. Just using the curbs a little bit too much, I think.
Yeah, he was super lucky though not to keep it stuck in that fence.
Bad place to do that though. We'll get a replay after that one. Obviously having to do another whole lap around before you can get it back in again.
Just have a look at the replay, just way too much curb. Sent the car up high. He almost scraped the roof along the tyre barrier.
Yeah, it looks like he's missing his front right guard there. So he'll be kicking himself. He's got to finish this lap, get it into pits, get it fixed, and then get it back out again for another lap before he can get a hot lap in. So
but that's what you got to love about it. That's what you love about this format, though. I know, when I come back into racing and heard about the Premier Series, I hadn't been around for like a year. I love the no escape rule. I thought it was fantastic because stops you just pressing the escape, going out there and just smashing out lap after lap after lap until you get it done. You make a mistake, you got to spend the next 2-3 minutes, get back to pit lane, do another out lap. So time runs out quick.
So guys, Madison Downs moved the goalposts, lowered his time. He's done a 35.398 now. So. Making it a little bit harder for anyone else to grab pole.
Doesn't want to make this easy for him.
I think what he doesn't want to do is spin on the last lap again either.
Yeah. Good old Madison.
He's done that a few times now, I think. So every time people start to forget about it, he does it again.
Yeah, he's actually, I think curbs tend to be Madison's enemy, and there's a lot of curbs here that he can do that on. So.
Just Jared Filson didn't pit then. I was kind of expecting to come straight down the pit lane. But,
maybe he doesn't deem the damage as damaging to his lap times as it might imply.
Funny thing is, I hit the curb that hard, he almost rolled it again. So he's been adventurous and he's sideways there. And where there's a big moment. Michael Hammond, I think it was. Stephen Richards' Porsche livery out there on the Commodore. It's a bit of an interesting mix.
Just having a quick look at Ren's Brookman. He's about to start his flying lap. He's been trying to get a bit of room to get a clean run here. I think he's feeling fairly confident in this lap as he almost gets tapped from Sam Sutton flying into the pits there. Obviously a little bit scary, that pit entry.
Oh, Jared Filsell is sliding around quite a bit. He's on the ragged edge and going over the ragged edge on this lap. I think surely he would have abandoned this one.
Let's see out there having a bit of fun right now. He's he hasn't got a time. I thought maybe he had a time here, but looking down there, he's down in 37th, and interestingly enough, 38th is Ren's. So a few guys at the back there still get to the lap. I'll tell you what, Daniel, this Ren's car is going to be your favourite livery, yeah, with the colour after the shirt you were wearing the other day.
Yeah, I've got no problems. I'm manly enough to wear pink.
I don't think I've ever seen a 30-year-old man with a beard rock up in a bright pink shirt at work. Anyway, back to the racing.
Michael Hammond is putting a lot of smoke down out there. Busted engine trying to get that back to pit lane. And
there's been
down to the hairpin, Dale Niche.
That's a motor. His motor's gone. He's just sitting there. I wonder if his motor's let go. It was smoking.
Oh, there's a bit of smoke.
Oh.
Comes Ren's.
Looks like we've got another car. Chris Dickinson has run out of fuel on the main straight. That might be his qualifying session over too. He's had to escape.
This is going to be a bit interesting. Ren's trying to get this flying lap in. A smoking car next to him. So it's curbs. It's actually looks like a fairly clean lap. You should be able to bank this one.
This will hopefully move him up to 38, where he will not want to be. Comes to the line, 36.6. That's only 19th position. So
it's definitely a big improvement. He's got one in the bank though. Jared
Needs-
Philsilver.
And Chris Dickinson, you're right. Chris Dickinson was disqualified, running out of fuel on Main Street.
Yeah, I read somewhere in the chat that's what you were saying, so unfortunate for him.
Of course, he was sitting in 33rd position, Chris Dickinson, with his previous qualifying time.
Just having a look at Jared Philsill. He's trying to get some clean track and a few guys swap around him so he can some clean air and make a go of it. George Maris has been bumped up into second. He's taken Sean Kelly out of off the second position there. 1:35.609. Great lap from George.
Of course, he'll be hoping to redeem himself from round 1. He was in that unfortunate incident with, I think it might have been Hilly. He'll be trying to look for some points out of tonight.
Just looking now. Sorry, Daniel. Scott Connors has spun around just out of the first chicane and is in the world's worst position to try and flick spin. Because there's just cars streaming past him second after second. There is no room at all. He might have found a gap now as he gassed it up on the grass. Spins around. You know what, that's the thing about this place, it is so tight, you make a mistake, you're in the fence and you're waiting forever for the whole field to go by you.
Sam Sutton, a boy to watch, currently sitting in 9th place.
Yeah, actually, that whole team are pretty happy right now to have Jake Burton up there in 4th, Sam in 9th and Kurt in 10th. So the whole team, 3 cars in the top 10.
Jared... Sorry, Corey, I was just going to say Jared Philsill just started his hot lap. So he'll be still looking to get a good time in the bank. Currently the last in time setters.
Going to try and stay off the curves a little bit more on this lap. Tell you what, it's just crazy to see how much these guys are pushing this car. It is fantastic to watch though.
Jared Philsill gliding over those curbs so far, but he's got some pretty brutal ones in the second half of the lap. He's going to come up to this chicane now. Have a look at the anti-cuts on the inside of those curbs that they really pay no heed to in these cars. But he's slowed down. That's another lap abandoned from Jared Philsill. He won't be happy with that. He's got bit under
13 minutes,
maybe 12 minutes to finish and actually get a run in.
12 minutes, and he's currently 38. So he won't be too happy with that at the moment.
This is the guy that finished second in the last round of Road America. He'll be wanting to get up to the pointy end of the field sharpish.
It just seems like the curbs, you're saying he was gliding over them at the start of the lap, and then they get a lot bigger actually, I think, as the lap goes on. Because by the time you get to this last corner here, you're absolutely pounding over him. So he's going to try again. Tyres still have enough in it.
Lee Day, fantastic run so far. Currently sitting in 12th. He'll be a contender for the top 10 easily. I think Sam Sutton's moved up a little bit as well since we last spoke about him. Oh, he's just bumped himself up into second, 1:35.592. Sam Sutton.
That's
nice
putting
job.
it down at the moment.
Nice job.
2 tenths faster when in practice. They'll be absolutely cheering with that.
Yeah, and
Awesome
just
job
talking
from the
about
Deco Motorsport driver.
Lee Day, he's just gone up to 8th position with that lap, 36 flat, so plenty of movement up there in the top 10.
I'm just keeping an eye on Jared Philsill here, because I think through the right hand to the fast right hander, he might have just tagged the wall. For those of you that may be new to iRacing, if you get an incident on your qualifying lap, you go off the track, you spin out, touch a wall, your lap does not count during qualifying. So you get a little bit of damage out of the front right guard and the bonnet. Not sure if he touched or if it was all net code. He's running out of time fast.
Well, he seems to be caning it as it stands, so it might not have been an incident. If he hasn't backed off just yet.
10 minutes left in this session. Richard Hempstead currently sitting in 6th, so he'll be looking to improve his time. Not much in it though between the top 6, so he just needs those few tenths either way to move up. But obviously a lot more difficult for him if he has to start battling out of 6th.
So he's pushing on. So obviously the lap will still count. He comes to the line. What does he do?
It didn't count.
No. So, and he's pushing on. You got the incident. I would have been straight in the pit lane. New tyres, 10 minutes to go. But I mean, Clayton might be able to give us an insight into what's going on.
I've got no idea. Jared runs his own thing out there. I've got no idea what he's doing. He'll have Henry in the box with him, helping him out, obviously. But I don't know. He must think the tyres are good for a couple of laps.
At least 3 laps though on a set of tyres in qualifying. Going to be, and especially if the cars are sliding around a lot, and he's backed out of this one. So I mean, now he's going to spend the next minute and a half getting back to pit lane, and then go out for another outlap. So he'll have about 7 minutes to go when he gets on to his next flying lap.
Another guy we're not used to seeing down, Richard Hampstead's in 6th position at the moment. He's usually in the top 3. He's got a whole heap of traffic in front of him.
As we touched on last round, guys, Richard Hampstead, as he pulls into the pits, bit of a stat for you guys, if you're new to the V8 Supercars Online Premier Series. We didn't actually know this until last round at Road America, obviously not paying enough attention, bad commentators, but Richard Hampstead has actually won every single V8 Supercar Online Premier Series race other than round 1 of last season. So it's been quite the dominating form from Hampstead for quite some time. So to see him down in 6th, I don't know. It's a bit strange. We'll have to see what happens before the end of the session.
Isn't it funny how Madison's dominated the official series we used to run for the last couple of years, and then since it's been in the Premier Series, Richard, like you said, has just dominated it. So I'm sure Madison's keen to actually get number 1, and it means something.
Madison's probably got a little bit more free time on his hands coming into this season, so good to see him.
Jake Blackwell, it's fun coming out of turn 2. He's got it going again now. He was in a bit of a precarious spot when Madison down when Todd Parks went past him.
So, down to about 7 minutes. Sorry, Clayton.
I was going to say James McKnight's moved up into 7th position now, up in well into the top 10. Same with Michael Schreier. Good lap time from those guys.
Definitely a contender, James McKnight. Can definitely put it together. And big shout out to his sponsor on his car as well. It's Simpin. Love that show.
Just trying to find guys in the top 10 who's on a fast lap at the moment. A bit hard to tell from our end.
I think he's looking good right now. His stamps up would be absolutely loving life right now in P2. Looking up there, George Maris is only just behind him, so Sean Kelly. But yeah, he'd be actually loving being ahead of the guys like Maris, Kelly, Hampstead. If we look at Jared Philsell though, he has to get a lap in and he's trying to find space. Got Sean Kelly ahead of him, so it's probably not the worst person to have in front of you. At least you know Sean will get on and get the job done.
We'll jump on board and see if he can lap out here now, Jared.
He needs to get this down. Got about 6 minutes left in this session and he's currently 38, and he topped the practice.
And if he doesn't get this in, he's going to blame us because we put so much attention to him.
Yeah, we keep going back to him. Keep stuffing him up.
Jared coming through the first chicane, running wide across those curbs.
Oh, there's a car.
Very
long
way around.
You've got David Moore in front. Hey, David Moore's moved over.
Jared's got his work cut out for him on this lap as he comes through yet another chicane. Blowing exit. The exit opens up. You got to get on the throttle nice and early to get a good run down this back stretch, which is sort of a straight but not a straight. Coming under the bridge, he brakes for this chicane, pounds across the anti-cuts.
Look at that, just right straight over him. Oh, so close to the wall. That was so impressive the way that car rode those bumps.
So far, this has been a pretty textbook lap from Jared Filsell, but of course he's got this hairpin winding on all the lock, all the way down in first gear, dipping under 60 kilometres an hour. You've got to get a good exit out of here to come down this back straight. This is the fastest point on the circuit.
Yeah, this is where it all went wrong for him last time. That final chicane just hit those curbs a little bit too hard. But the laps look good. I mean, he's had a few cars pull up in front of him that would have distracted him, but not majorly. Now he's got to get it in here. Rear's chirping a lot of curb. A little sideways, but it should be an improvement. He should get out of 38.
Champions. What's his time?
Comes to the line, bumps him up to P8.
35.8.
Only P8 though, that's probably not where he wants to start.
It looked like a pretty measured lap. I think he just concentrated on getting that banker time in.
I mean, that's 30 spots ahead of where he was going to start, so he'd still be happy.
Yeah.
He has got time to get a fresh set of tyres, get an outlap, and he might be able to get across the line just before to start another fire lap, but we'll have to wait and see.
Damn, Sutton's calling it quits on the qualifying. He's parked his car. He's happy with his time. I would be too. He's still P2 with less than 4 minutes to go. So I'm keeping my eyes on Jared still, see if he can go a little bit faster on his second lap. Or if he'll park it, get the tyres to go again. I'm impressed how that car rides those curbs.
Currently your top 10 is down from Sutton, then Maris in 3rd, Kelly 4th, Burton, Hampstead in 6th, McKnight 7th, Filsell 8th, Dreyer, and then John Latham is your 10th driver at the moment.
A bit of a mixed bag there in the top 10. Some few shockers. Obviously, Richard Hampstead we don't expect to see in 6th, so he'll be looking to improve. Jared Filsell as well. Just popped himself up into the 8th. But yeah, good to see a few newer names up there that we don't normally see so close to the top, like Jake Bird and Sam Sutton.
I'm having a look, they're both on outlaps. George Maris has absolutely put the hammer down in his court right up to the back of Madison down. I don't know if he just wants to follow him around for a lap. He
Jared
went absolutely
Filsell.
guns blazing. Maris did to catch up to down. They start their fast laps.
Sorry for the interruption, guys. Just noticed Jared Filsell pulled into the pits. I think he, if he's not parking it, then he'll be giving his car more fuel and fresh tyres for one final crack. But no, it doesn't look like he's going to do it.
And there's still a few big names outside the 10 as well. Josh Muggleton in P13, and Tony Autry down there in 16th, Renz Brookman in 19th, and Val Richards down in 22nd. So some names we're used to being out the front. Sort of in the mid-pack here at the moment, and if that development race anything to go by, you did not want to be starting there.
Filsell has re-entered the track.
2 minutes to go.
Pretty quick outlap, and you should be right to start another one.
So 2 minutes to go. We're looking at about the after the 1 minute and 30-second odd mark. Anyone that crosses the line will not get another lap in. Oh, sorry, the least lane will not get another lap
Maris.
Yeah,
a little bit of a
sideways.
Bit of corrective steering there, but still looks like he's on a pretty hot lap here. So it'll be interesting to see if he gets an improvement out of this.
Oh, he's gone a bit wide through the hairpin, straightened the exit up a bit.
So just looking, Renz Brookman, that's it. He will not improve. He's into the pit lane there. He's got enough time to get back out there. That's one guy that will not be able to do another lap. Look now, who's out there? Jared Filsell's out there. He's got enough time. Still a minute to go.
Addison down also on the back straight, coming up to the final chicane, preparing to start what will be his last hot lap.
Maris as well has just started his hot lap. So did McKnight.
So we got a few guys to watch.
Kurt Stenberg as well.
Looked like an Osram car down the exit of the last chicane. I'm not quite sure who that was. I'll go back and check.
Filsell's just started his last flying lap.
That car in the wall was Wayne C. Burke, car number 89.
And guys, the last guy to start a fast lap is Jared Muggleton. I think he was the last guy to get across before the flag flew.
Oh, looking at Jared Filson, there's a lot of slow cars ahead of him. All guys back to the lane. Yeah. No one's really got close that time. A nice little margin up there. So, first guy that's going to really challenge.
Oh, Richard
That's
Hampstead
fine.
just with 135.58 pushes himself up into second.
Ooh.
George Maris to the line. 35.6, but no improvement.
Eyes will be on Jared Filsell now as he comes up to the final chicane.
Oh, a lot of curves.
Oh!
That's been his enemy.
Sticking to the right hand side of the track, shortening the line to the start finish line. What does he do? A 35.7.
But he goes up one spot.
So giving himself a bit of work there to do.
But who's still out there on a lap that can improve? Jared Muggleton still out there. Sean Kelly.
Ian Ford's coming to the line now. Currently sitting 15th position. Doesn't improve.
That should be it.
Oh, I got a car stopped and escaped on Main Street. I think it was Kane.
That's not. You don't want to be escaping at the end of the session. That. Yeah, it was actually. He's escaped at the end of the session. I wonder if that's going to affect his qualifying in P25 as well.
I think they take their best time off it, and you got to have your second best. I think, isn't that the rule?
Pretty sure it is. Whatever it is, the stewards are going to be waving around their wooden sticks ready to belt him as he gets out of the car. Alright, I think we've got everyone in. Guys, we could probably go through the results. We'll start with the top 10. Madison down in first, dominating result there for Madison. Richard Hampstead pulls himself up into second at the very last second. Sam Sutton in third, fantastic result from him. George Maris fourth, Sean Kelly fifth, Jake Burton sixth, Jared Filsell seventh, James McKnight eighth, John Latham ninth, Michael Schreier 10th.
Yeah, in 11th we got Lee Day, followed by Wayne Burke. Josh Muggleton up at 13th, Stenberg in 14th, Ford, then Aldridge. Preston's got 17th, 18th went for Salmon, Renz Brookman in 19th, and Leighton Fine in 20th.
And in 21st, guys, we got Jason Dixon. 22nd on the grid is Vale Riches. Michael Healy in 23rd, Martin Carroll 24th, Kane Kugimiya is in 25th position, 26th position is Dean O'Brien, Chris Coxhead number 27 on the grid, Nigel Baines in position 28, Jake Blackhall 29th, and Scott Connors rounds out your top 30.
31st, Jared Muggleton, Michael Hammond in 32nd, Heath Brennan 33rd, Todd Parks 34th, David A. Moore comes home in 35th, Dale Nish in 36th, Chris Dickinson 37th, Alan Mayer comes home in 38th, and then we've had a few. I think Aaron Hamilton was disqualified from the session due to escaping, so
some interesting results there, guys. Some shakers, some new contenders in the mix. It's going to be an exciting race.
Most definitely. Richard Hampstead with that sneaky little lap at the end there, very well done. Has got him up the front row position alongside down for the start. The championship complications there for Filsell. He's going to struggle with our 8th spot, I think. They're quite quick, these guys in the top 10. He's not going to find it easy.
No, he's definitely going to give himself a bit of difficulty this race. Also, you've got the mix of a pretty tight circuit. Some big names, big egos that aren't in that top pack. So I think we're going to lead to some pretty exciting racing coming up to this one. All right, guys, what we're going to do, for those who missed out on the top, on the second split, we had a really, really cool track video from Reese, very similar to what we did last week. So we're going to play it again so you guys can watch it. Just get it sent over now.
Good morning / afternoon / evening, everybody. My name is Reese Gardner, and this is my V8 Supercar Online Premiere Series fact file for the Circtuit Gilles-Villeneuve. On the St. Lawrence River in the heart of Montreal, the cultural capital of Canada, there lies a man-made island. And on that island lies a twisting, flowing piece of tarmac known to motorsport fans the world over. The Circtuit Gilles-Villeneuve is similar on paper to Australia's very own Albert Park circuit. It is located in public parkland and is public road for most of the year. It's technically a street circuit, but it doesn't really drive like one. Montreal is short, fast and twisty. The majority of turns on the track are chicanes, but here that is by no means a bad thing. It's got flow and character, and getting your lines right and being able to use the track's big curbs effectively is key to a good lap time. In order to find the genesis of this venue, we need to go back to the mid-1960s. The island the track is on, Ile Notre Dame, was built from 15 million tons of rock to house pavilions for Expo 67, a monumental World's Fair and exhibition celebrating Canada's centenary. After Expo 67 ended and many pavilions fell into disrepair, the island was then used for the rowing competitions in the 1976 Olympics, and sometime after that, it was decided that a racetrack be built on Ile Notre Dame. The track was completed in 1978, just in time to be chosen as the new home of the Formula One Canadian Grand Prix. And since then, it has changed little, apart from 2 chicanes being removed and the start-finish line being shifted from after the hairpin to its present location. Other minor reconfigurations aside, this circuit is largely the same as it was in the 1970s. The track has seen many years of action, and while the list of series to have raced on it is smaller than most, it's still a who's who of motorsports, Formula One, obviously, as well as Champ Car, Grand Am, and NASCAR. In V8's online terms, Montreal has always thrown up an exciting event, and it's sure to do the same tonight. Be sure to stay and watch the spectacle of big, heavy, lumbering V8 supercars slipping, sliding, and bouncing around this famous racetrack. The Circtuit Gilles-Villeneuve, Round 2 of the V8 Supercars Online Premiere Series.
It's another fantastic video about a fantastic track here at Montreal. Guys, just a quick reminder as well, if you want to jump on our Facebook page, leave us a message, we'll reply to them, we'll give them a shout out during the broadcast. Let us know what your favourite Montreal moment is. If you want to know something like what wax Sandman uses to polish his head, we'll find out that for you as well. Whatever you need, let us know. Put it on our Facebook page. Share it around. Let people know that we are live, that we're streaming. It's going to be a brilliant race. Everyone should be watching this right now.
Most definitely, guys, as we are now gearing up to enter the race server. I'm really excited, guys. What about you?
I can't wait for it. It's going to be anything like 2 weeks ago. It's going to be an awesome race. Slowdowns are going to be the biggest killer in this race, I think, for a lot of guys.
Yeah, definitely. The slowdowns are going to play a big part of this race. Obviously, a lot tighter. So in Road America, if there was an incident, there was lots of room to run off the road. Here, you're not going to have that luxury. So if there's an accident, I would say that we're going to see a few safety cars, especially with some of the bigger names finding out from the back of the field. So it's going to be awesome to watch that unfold. And also a couple of the guys that have been floating around mid-pack, starting to move their way up, might get their first podiums. Looking at Sam Sutton, James McKnight, these guys are really starting to hit their straps. So it's going to be awesome to see. Well, it looks like we've got our own little guy here from OSR, Simon Black, to feed us some information about what's happening in the stewards. And what's going on, Simon?
G'day boys, how are you? A good evening?
It's going good. Obviously a lot of work for you guys from the second split. You're planning on a bit more of a workload coming out of this top one?
Actually, all the hard work was on Jay's shoulders in the second split there. I was in the car and it all happened behind me, so I actually haven't had a chance to go back and look at it yet.
Oh, I wouldn't trust Jay. It's going to end bad for you, mate. It's going to end bad. No, don't trust Jay with anything. But obviously, qualifying there, we saw a few guys do the old escape trick. Many penalties come around from that one?
No, there was one lap that had to be removed, but the driver stayed in the same place anyway, so that was all what there was.
All right, fantastic. Now, obviously these guys know what they're doing. We hold them to a very high standard. Do we have a prediction for when we're going to see the safety car?
I'd love it if they had awesome racing and we didn't see the safety car, but it's racing and it's one of those tracks where it's easy to happen, so I wouldn't be surprised if it comes out somewhere along the lines.
I'm very excited for this one, Mr. Black. So we'll make sure that we have someone keeping in contact with you, because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of stuff for you guys to watch and review and be handing out penalties for. But yeah, it should be fun. We've also got Jay Kennedy, the guy that they're trusting to hand out the punishments for race 2. So if you want to send bribes, send it straight to Jay Kennedy's PayPal account. We'll put up some details and chuck it straight in there. Jay Kennedy's open, paying in pesos or carrots to feed his donkey. He don't care.
There we go. Knew it was coming. Hello again, boys.
Occasionally.
Just say from that first race, we still have so much to go and look after, and Simon is going to get a big headache coming through to help me look over that race later on.
Now, Jay, obviously this is a fairly tight track compared to where we were last week. What lap do you reckon we're going to see the safety car on? Are you going to put a prediction out there?
I'm not going to put a prediction, but I'm hoping the same as Simon, because I don't want to have a safety car come out, but it possibly is inevitable with the way that these walls will eat the cars. So hopefully they'll be nice and clean for the first lap, but if we see one, it'll probably be at the start of the race, but we'll see what happens.
You guys have any predictions for winners? Anyone you're backing?
I must say Sam Sutton's been really quick this week, so see him as a bit of a dark horse.
Yeah, not much of a dark horse, but Madison's been consistent and fast all week as well. Jared's been up there as well, although the qualifying wasn't brilliant. So, should be good to see. Richard as well, of course.
Another one too would probably be George Maris as well.
Oh yeah, he's been some good times.
Anyone else got any questions that they would like to ask the stewards? If you guys want us to actually ask these guys any questions from you guys on our Facebook feeds or anything, send us a question. We can ask them. If you want to know the breed of Jay's donkey, I think you can get different breeds, or what kind of card he's using, send that through as well. We'll let you know.
How much mule is mixed
inside information. Or if you want his secret chicken palmy recipe, because that's all I ever see him eat, I'll try and get that out of him as well.
There's nothing wrong with chicken palmy.
I can verify that the Parma recipe is quite sought after, and anyone that has been lucky enough to have a chicken parmigiana at my house will speak very highly of it.
I don't think it's hard to get Mitch to speak highly of anything, because he's normally fairly intoxicated by the time anyone
He's
sees
also
him
not watching tonight, so you can safely say this without him noticing.
Actually, where is Mitchell?
Yeah,
I didn't even notice he wasn't out there.
Mitchell's
I'm pretty sure I
actually,
saw some
it's a long
people.
weekend here in Victoria, so he's actually out camping this weekend.
Oh, right.
So he's swiping right all night.
Yeah, I don't think there'll be too much to swipe around there. But I've seen a lot of the hashtag has been floating around every time I see Mitchell McLeod's name pop up on my Facebook feed.
Well, I think that's very true.
Yeah. So not too long now until the race starts, so you guys almost need to get back in your box and get ready to make sure that these guys keep themselves in line.
I'm happy to let me out of the box for a couple of seconds, so it gets dark and lonely in there.
Have a great call, guys, and
have fun, boys.
Thanks very much as always for your coverage. And yeah, I hope it's a great race like last time out, and yeah, we'll talk to you after.
And we certainly hope that you guys have a good stewarding session without too many headaches.
Cheers, man.
See you, boys.
Alright guys, not long now and to get this on its way. Obviously guys out there doing some warm-up laps. I've seen a few guys tap the wall in their warm-up laps, trying to get used to track temperature and making sure that their race setups are good. So we've got Stephen Sandman Clark back in the box. You there, Sandman?
Having a few dramas there, we've got a couple minutes though to get it sorted.
Having a few issues with his mic, obviously hasn't got a workout in a while. Probably has blown up.
Blown it up last time we used it. But not long to the race now, and the guys, like you said, going out there doing pit stop practice and out there doing their final laps on full fuel, because they've just done the last half an hour running as light as possible. So,
yeah, definitely. Obviously this pit stop is very, very fast coming in, so the guys will be wanting to make sure that they can nail it on the way in without doing it in. So should be interesting.
I think the biggest problem is going to be you make sure you don't have to nail the car in front of you when you're going in. If someone's keeping out on the track and then you want to keep going, you're going to almost plough them. But if you break back up too much, you lose too much time. So a bit of
it's a scary pit entry.
catch-22 moment, that one.
Stephen, Sandman Clark, looks like he's found the spare mic after he broke his other one. Sandman, good to have you back.
Thanks, mate. Looking forward to this one. Should be an absolute ripper.
Now, did you tune in for all the qualifying?
Yeah, had a brief look at it, so I was just quietly kicking myself in the corner of the man cave about what happened in the earlier race. But yeah, Madison Down put out a great time. It was good to see Sam Sutton punch out a pretty good result there too. So I think, you know, like we do most weeks, there's a number of people that are really right in it for the win.
A bit of a shake-up across that top 10, so we should see some really interesting racing. See Richard Hempstead sneaking in the last lap there to pull himself back up into second. So should be some interesting racing. So pretty excited about this one. It's getting closer and closer to taking off. So only a minute or so now left until the guys grid up.
Of course,
So you got a favourite, Sandman?
Sorry, mate. Well, I don't know, mate. I'm quite partial. I'm actually really excited to see how this is going to pan out because these boys have got their work cut out for them, being 45 laps. It's it was enough fun around here trying to do 15 laps, but 45 laps, these boys are certainly going to have a fair old workout.
Yeah. Well, it looks like you've got a few followers that are happy to have you back in the box, Sandman. Like I said before, guys, actually, Jay Kennedy, we've also got a shout out from Adam, wants to know what the chicken palmy recipe is. So it's out there now. You're going to have to put it out to everyone. I told him that you're going to do it, so you just have to go ahead and do it. So Jay, when you watch it's back, 20 seconds left until we go to race time, guys. So we should get Jay Kennedy to do a video and put it up for us of him making his famous chicken palmy, cooking with Jay. You know what? A short.
All right, guys.
All right,
well, it's 45 laps as they said. It looks like there is going to be the sort of the possibility of a pit stop. Definitely for tyres. There's no way you could make tyres last 45 laps around here. Fuel, that's another matter entirely. It's been a bit up in the air. I've been trying to get some information out of the OSR guys, the organisers of the race, but I can't seem to get too much out of them. We're going to have to see what happens. Safety car might shift the strategy around a little bit for these guys. We'll have to see. But as they line up on the grid, take it away, guys. I'm going to disappear and see what info I can get you.
Yeah, as we wait for the cars now to grid up. Got a few there. Madison's now on the grid. Richard Hampstead will be happy there with P2. Sam Sutton will be absolutely cheering that he's up there with the likes of those guys and ahead of Jared Filsell, George Maris. But hopefully we can get through turns 1, 2 and 3 a little bit cleaner than we did the Development Series race. And hopefully no one runs into anyone on a safety car.
Yes, you wouldn't want to wish that on anyone.
So just wait now for the final cars to grid up. It is a fantastic sight looking at this many... of course, Holdens and Fords now as well. It is a good sight. One of each on the front row. So revs start to rise now. I'll let Sandman call away from the start. I know you all want that.
Here we go, new era of racing here on iRacing. It's Holden versus Ford, and they're underway. Madison Down off to a great start. Look at that jump, but Sam Sutton's right there too. They're going to go side by side. Maris is thinking about it, but look, but they're all running into turn 1. Hopefully a nice clean run, better than what we saw in the earlier race.
Yeah, it's all pretty clear. Now watching to the mid-pack. They've all got through all right so far. And there's been, well, it looks like we are through turn 1, 2 and 3 with no accident. So they come down to the first chicane, so close to the wall on the exit.
Keen to have a bit of 3 wide action too. Looks like Maris and Filsell, they looked like they were thinking about it, but smarter heads prevailed and they all went single file, but there's still plenty of action happening back here on the lap.
Maris makes his way around Filsell. Filsell looks like he's struggling. He's picking up
he's got a contract. Yeah, he's definitely got a contract. Looks like he's going to give up a couple of spots here. Good part of the racetrack too.
It's just so tight. This whole racetrack is so tight. He's fallen back a fair way too. He's still not going full speed. He's fallen outside the top 10. And he's still trying to slow down, so still not cleared. Jared Philsell almost gets collected.
It's a little bit further up. Sorry guys, currently in 6th, Jake Burton. Jake Burton's on the back of Sean Kelly. Sean Kelly having a look at Sam Sutton. Madison down. Really aggressive across the curves there.
Right, we were talking through the week. He was saying he was pretty keen on his shock setup through the curves, but you've got to be careful. It's only lap 1. Looks like Wayne Burke got himself a cut track penalty there too.
Yeah, looks like he's struggling there. Jared Philsell currently fighting out at 19th for Jared Philsell. He's currently sitting in. So this isn't good for his championship. He's making it hard for himself.
Look up in the front. Madison Down's got a good lead over Hampstead after that first lap.
For those who are interested in where Jared Philsell slotted back in, he's down in 19th position now. Oh, good, another slowdown. Further back in the pack, Wayne Burke again. Started up there in 12th place and now finds himself outside the top, almost actually outside the top 30. I think he's fallen in about 28th position.
Very, very easy to do here. Those curves are a little bit daunting to get around.
Oh, I've got someone spun at the back chicane.
So Brock Salmon.
Yeah, he put it into the wall.
Look at himself.
We'll have a replay. His car's not moving. It's just stuck there.
He's blowing the motor. Just heard he's blowing the motor, so
yeah, on the
wait,
downshift.
Wait for the stewards to give the all clear to go back to the pit lane. Should it be a safety car?
Whoa! Sorry guys, we just had sideways action coming out onto the main straight.
I've got a slowdown for Sam Sutton as well.
This is absolutely killing these guys.
Just got a move done on Michael Schreier. Josh Michaelson now into 9th. It looks like he's going to get around Sutton as well. Sutton's lost out big time. He pushes him outside of the top 10 after fighting out at 3rd.
He'll be gutted with that. Did such a good job in qualifying, and now finds himself battling for the minor places down there. Like I said, just out of the 10. So
something's happened to Corey Preston. Looks like he might get a cut track as well. Just have a look.
Corey Preston there.
Just going to get a rip.
Going again after a big crash.
Sorry to butt in, Jake Burton. He's got to slow down as well. Down the back straight. George Maris just made his way past.
Corey Preston hard into the armco barrier. Sorry, Clayton. That was a big moment there for Corey Preston. Destroyed the front of the Falcon. Oh, Nigel Baines now with a slowdown as well. That's about the 5th or 6th driver in this first 3 laps.
Yes. I said at the top of the broadcast, the slowdowns are going to kill blokes' races here tonight. I've seen them every time we race here.
As all this is going on, Madison Downs got himself a nice little gap. But it looks like Sean Kelly is going to be the one that's getting a bit of pressure applied soon from George Maris.
Ian Ford now with a slowdown as well. The list just goes on every lap, every chicane, and someone different. They're all pushing so hard, pushing a little bit maybe too hard over the curves.
Yeah, you've got to keep in mind, if you're following closely behind the guy, it's very hard to sight the apex of the corners.
It's incredible. You boys probably answer it better than I do, because I obviously didn't see everything that happened in the earlier race, but I don't know if we saw that many track penalties in the earlier race. It seems to be a lot in this one.
Yeah, we didn't actually see them, and I didn't notice as many anyway, but yeah, these guys are pushing especially hard here at the moment, trying to get a good track position. It's actually costing them time.
Sam Sutton moves himself up to 9th. It's around Lee Day and Michael Schreier. Starting to eye down Josh Muggleton, who's currently sitting in 8th. John Latham having a look at James McKnight.
He's tucked back in here. He's gonna have the draft. Knight's got a good run though off the hairpin. Just now you start to see John Latham just pulling back in. He's gonna
Have a look
pull
on the
out.
inside.
It's gonna be a big move. He can do it. Brakes a bit early. Don't want to go through here side by side though.
Oh, very late break from
Hit
the
the
line.
Big try to get a good run.
Oh, he's bumped him.
Going to try and get it done here. It's like Josh Muggleton's been brought into all this.
Knight holds on. P6.
Great racing there by McKnight, making sure that he's given him enough room, but not too much. Battle pack starts to unfold. Josh Muggleton. It's an eye for position. Sean Kelly. Sorry, Corey, I'm just having a look at this battle here. Oh, Sean Kelly gets it up on 2 wheels, manages to get it back together. George Maris having a look.
Gonna
Run on him down the straight.
Further back in the pack, an absolutely disaster of a night for Jared Pilsell. It's going worse. He's now down, I believe, in 33rd position.
Oh,
So,
he's definitely
I think he's had
straight.
another slowdown now, and it's pushed him even further back. That lap 2:08.9. So another slowdown. Started out with so much promise, topping the practice session, and then it all went wrong for him. Took him a long time in qualifying. Bit of contact.
Yeah, and Josh Muggleton right in there behind him.
Josh now trying to do what Latham did last lap. Here we go, Clayton. It's time for Commodore to get the legs in the straight line.
No, it won't happen,
He's got
mate.
a good run. I think he's going to get this.
He's got to
on the
break
right
lane.
spot,
He's
yeah.
got to get even later. Can he
Oh,
follow?
Can you stop it?
Oh, he
what
hits
a
the
curve.
curb. Good job there from Muggo.
Oh, John Latham. He's saying his love watching these guys. Absolutely the best at driving this car. It is fantastic to watch.
Great run there from Muggo. He'll be eyeing off McKnight now. Good to see Muggo back up here and swinging again.
Yeah, Muggo, he's got a lot of mid-corner speed out of this car. The setup's working well for him.
The battle a little bit further up continues on for a podium. George Maris all over the back of Sean Kelly. George Maris is
he's
going to
in.
have a look. He's going to get this done. Oh, they're going to go side by side. George Maris is going to get the run.
Yeah, but Kelly's got the inside for the next chicane.
Oh,
no,
he's tapped it.
Oh,
Kelly's in the
what
best in the
happened
middle of the road. Watch out. Jake Burton.
Burton has been brought into
He
that.
collected him. Big damage to the front of Jake Burton's car.
As McKnight pulls it up, so does Muggo.
Oh, Kelly's still in the middle of the racetrack.
that's Maris's day done, and Kelly's both huge damage to those cars.
It's a lot of damage to Jake Burton as well, so I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't travel down the pit lane as well. That was all a bit silly in a straight line, actually.
Get a replay of that. It looks like Sean Kelly's just hit him at the back wheel there, and into the wall he's gone. Not a lot of
Well,
room for
actually,
error.
it was George, looking at the replay on my end, George Maris just come across there. I don't know if he was expecting Sean Kelly to be closer to the wall. He's just come across the nose of his car, and it sent them both in the fence. And next car on the scene, Jake Burton, nowhere to go, but at the back of George Maris's Commodore, who's now turned into a cruise Mador or a Comma Cruise. Again, common feature tonight. Maris comes down the pit lane, so that's all unfortunate for those guys battling for a podium.
Sean Kelly chooses to stay out, so obviously he's not too worried about the damage on his car. Jake Burton.
That was all a little bit unnecessary, like I said, in a straight line. I'm not sure if George thought he was a little bit further across on the road, but fortunately it's put an end to his night.
I was having a look back, Jake Burton and the lead day side by side. The same spot where Kelly and Maris just were.
Muggo's having a look here for a podium. He's going to get this. Gets around James McKnight. Pulls himself up into third.
Bit of a return to form here for Muggo. Nice, he's been off the pace back at Road America.
He's starting to find he started to get get his grips together at the end of the race last fortnight. Obviously, he's put a bit of practice in. He's starting to get his form back together. Sitting in 30, can't be whinging about that. Brilliant job. Brilliant job from Muggo.
There's a massive pack behind him, goes all the way back from Ring Brookman in 12th. All the way up to Sam Sutton, I think, in 7th.
Yeah, Sam Sutton's about to join on as well. We'll cross over to Reese.
Yeah, guys, I've got a little bit of a steward's report. Jay has been in contact with me and has told me about a couple of pit lane penalties that they've handed out just to keep everybody up to date with the steward's decisions. We've got car number 50, that's Kane Kugamia, got a pit lane penalty for contact with Michael Healy into turn 1 on lap 1. And we've also got a pit lane penalty for car number 707, that's Alan Meyer, for contact with Dale Niche at the final chicane on lap 1. So that's all the info I've got for now. I'll make sure to bring you more as it comes to me.
So we've got a nice little battle happening here with Hamilton.
This battle pack is actually awesome to watch. Josh Muggleton leads it. Like I said, it goes from 3rd back to about 12th.
Yeah. James McKnight, John Latham, Sam Sutton, all in the mix here. Lee Day. So a few big names. Sam Sutton will be looking to get back up there. Oh, John Latham right on the tail of James McKnight.
Sean Kelly now he's in the pit lane. George Maris and Sean Kelly in the pit lane. So it's unfortunate for those guys battling for the podium. And it's all gone wrong for them. Madison's got a nice little lead here early on. Already out to 3.5 seconds. Actually wait for Richard to cross the line this time by 3.7 seconds, the official readout. So
it's a complete opposite from the race 2 weeks ago. Richard Amstead's a 9.2 second lead over Muggleton, so the top two have really stretched their legs.
Leighton Fine making a move. Currently sitting in 15th position.
I think I just seen Schreier, he got to slow down. He's let Tony Autry, Kurt Stenberg through, slotted in front of Renz Brookman.
I don't know if he's got to slow down or he had a moment. And, he only dropped 2 spots there, so
right along with Renz, he's probably got the best viewing here of this battle pack. Just has a look around.
he would be a little bit happier. I mean, he doesn't want to be, backfighting for 12th. Because he's used to being out the front and winning races, but be a little bit happy with the pace this week, and he's lasted a bit longer than last round anyway. Oh, a bit of contact with Michael Schreier. Ren's getting a bit of a hurry along. Actually, I've been talking to Renz throughout the week, and I keep telling him if he stopped to drive in a Commodore, he'd probably be up the front with Madison. I think this Falcon's slowing down.
Yeah, it's poor form there from Renz Brookman. We'll have to beat some sense into him after this, I think. Muggo's got a bit of action happening behind him.
Oh, McKnight. I thought he was going to send it up there and into the corner, but he backed out of it.
There's James McKnight battles with him. He looks like Sam Sutton. He's going to join in on this as well. John Layton.
So, almost 10 laps in, and we are 10 laps in, and no safety car. So
lots of incidents though.
Yeah,
surprising.
But been little one-offs. Now these guys are the best at driving these cars. That's why it is actually fantastic to watch. Just look for the gearbox cam. Josh Muggleton.
Seems to be feeling the pressure, but this is what he likes. He's used to this. Racing hard for top positions.
A good view at the way the cars behind him ride the curbs.
I think at the moment Muggo would have a big smile on his face. He'd be absolutely loving this battle he's in.
They slow down 51 kilometres there. I saw Muggleton get to, so that is, I think that is the slowest corner, as we said in the development race in the championship.
might have a look at the gains and losses of the top 20. Josh Muggleton, third spot, up 10 positions, outstanding start for him. Quite a few that have made a few up.
Yeah, definitely. There's a few movers and shakers up there. Lee Day's pushed himself up into the top 10, currently sitting in 7th, starting out of 11th. Another big one, Renz Brookman, started out of 19, currently sitting in 12th. He's a bit of a mover for us as well. Dean O'Brien started out in 26, currently sitting in 14th. But Scott Connors started out at 30th, and he's currently sitting 17th. So some really good movers up in the top there. But obviously, if we've got some guys moving up, we've got a lot of guys moving towards the back. So Jared Philsell started out in 7th, currently in 37th. So not good for his championship.
He'll be gutted about that. He started up there. Wasn't happy with his qualifying, obviously, but to drop so many positions from 2 or 3 slowdowns, not good.
So Josh Muggleton's starting to get a little bit of a gap here as James McKnight, John Latham, Sam Sutton struggle for positions amongst themselves.
Yeah, Josh Muggleton, he's going to get quicker and quicker the more laps he does. He's been into the car a long time, so I might even expect him to pull away from these 3 guys behind.
Got Renz now. Michael Schreier. Renz still on the back bumper of the Falcon here. Needs to get a good he's not getting a good enough run out of that hairpin, I don't think. A bit too much wheel spin. Because he's not quite closing up either, like we've seen in some of the other cars. He hasn't looked though.
Let's him know he's there. Puts a bit of pressure on.
Puts a, see if you're the car ahead, it puts a bit of doubt in your mind, or oh, Renz is gone! Oh, that's not a bad spot.
Oh, he's been tapped.
Wait for these guys now. Got a bit of room.
Switch it around.
Just saying. It puts a bit of doubt if you're the car ahead, thinking about it. Is he going to send it? Is he not going to send it? So, but Renz put the commentator's curse on him, and he's dropped down now into about 18th place. He will not be happy to go to a replay. He jumped off the curb. Jumped off the curb and just gassed her up. Around she went.
We're expecting a Facebook message later on.
Blaming that all on, actually no, 11 on Seb, because Seb told me he's putting it on Renz, that wasn't up to us. So, he gets all the blame and it's actually, who was that? Scott Connors with the slowdown. So he's good run, he started back in 30th, he's up to 16th. And just dropped about 4 or 5, 6 positions there, unfortunately.
John Latham's. He's out of he's giving him a bit of a bump. James McKnight a bit of a bump. Sam Sutton now. Right on the tail of John Latham. He's gonna have a look. Sorry, Sam Sutton gonna shoot it off down the inside. Nope, thinks better of it. Renz Brookman having a bit of a battle further back.
Yeah, another Muggleton here in the fight. Try to send it up the inside of the chicane.
Jared Muggleton, obviously still a bit of a newcomer to the whole series, but fantastic racer. Obviously getting a lot of hints off Josh.
Behind them, Nigel Baines having a look up the inside, broke very late. He's going to be close. Oh, locked the rears, got the position, and they lost it again. But that was insane. Broke massively deep, locked the rear tyres, almost centre punched into the laser Commodore or Renz there. Just got away with that. How crazy, how close was that?
Really good battles up and down this field at the moment. I'm just having a quick look at this pack again. Sam Sutton at the back. I think he's just again. Stephen Sandman Clark, you there? Quiet.
Still having a few dramas there.
Yeah, sorry boys, we had a bit of a power blackout here, so I'm just having to reset everything.
See problems with the power grid down in Mexico.
Madison down, out to 5-second lead now. Richard Hampstead. Richard just hasn't looked like he's got the outright pace here this week.
Yeah, Hammer would be praying for a safety car right about now.
Safety car, some new tyres and go hard, but the next car actually between Madison and Hampstead is Sean Kelly. Another TTR car, so I'm sure Madison's hoping that Sean makes life a little bit hard for him.
Josh Muggleton's been a little bit faster than Richard Hampstead the last few laps around. Richard looks like he's starting to lose a little bit of pace compared to Madison Down. Madison still racking out some really great times, 1:36.06 last lap around for Madison.
Oh, Jake Burton's just collected the wall through turns 5, I think it was. Got it up on 2 wheels and he's pulled it off. I think he's suffered heavy damage to that right-hand side.
Night's going from bad to worse for Jake Burton. Started off so well too. So the lights are up out of the chicane, and Ian Ford here will get an easy pass.
Might jump on and have a replay of Jake there.
Jared Philsell, actually, the issue with Philsell, he's sideways in his pit box.
I've been having a look. He's I think he's had about 10 slow down penalties now. He's dropped way back, so his race is definitely done.
He's in a 90-degree position in his pit box, so I don't think that's the quickest way unless the ANZ boys figure out how to change tyres faster that way.
It's battle for third, still raging. James McKnight, John Latham, Sam Sutton.
A little bit further back, we've got a battle for 16th here now, starting to really heat up. Not got the pace to play ahead of these guys.
Yeah, Reds Brookman's going to have a look.
Has a die. Oh, they're going to touch it.
Sam Sutton, slow down.
Oh!
He's going to send it. Here with Jared Muggleton now. Here comes Aaron Hamilton as well, so he's going to lose 3 positions there in the laser plumbing electrical car.
A little bit further up, Sam Sutton copped a slow down. He hasn't lost the position, but looks like he's jumped right up the back now. He's got Lee Day having a go. It's battle for third, still going strong. Josh Muggleton holding his position. James McKnight looking fairly strong though through the corners.
Josh Muggleton is in a fierce battle here with James McKnight. John Latham closing up on him. So he'll be loving this. They'll be loving being quick again too.
Yeah, definitely showing that he's still a competitor. Follow the nose cam here for James McKnight. He's getting really nice and close. Oh, I go a little bit sideways there, coming off the curbs. McKnight, really strong under brakes. Cross over to Reese in the pits. He's probably got a bit of inside information for us.
Probably not from what you guys would be looking at the moment. I just wanted to call attention to something that was happening with Jake Burton. Started very strongly in 6th, but so far has had a bit of a race to forget after being involved in the contact between Sean Kelly and another car, which George Maris is the one. Sorry about that little mistake, guys. But yeah, he had some more contact at Jake Burton, and now he's got some steering damage, unfortunately. He just pitted and is now out with a very damaged car running down in position number 27. So not the best race for Jake Burton. Also, it's quite interesting seeing the amount of cars that have been affected by slowdowns. We've got a couple of people who are way out of contention or way out of where they should be. Among them, Jared Philsell.
Yeah, a little bit disappointing to see some of those competitors, but that's how a championship goes, and it's only the start, so plenty of time to reel it back in. Looks like Sam Sutton's just come out of the pit, so obviously he's done his pit stop. He's playing to a plan here, I would say, trying to get a bit of clean air. So it'll be interesting to see how this all pans out.
Yeah, it's only early days though. It's only lap 16, so I wonder if any of these guys are going to wait a little bit longer and set the safety car.
It's Kurt Stenberg. Margot's coming in as well, so obviously trying to get out of those battle packs that they're in and trying to get a bit of clean air and just do some lap times, which is always competitive. I still see Jared Phil, so obviously that way of parking the car is not a good way to change tyres because he's still there.
Yeah, I think he might have called it quits though. He's been sitting there now for the last couple of minutes.
We'll follow McKnight and see if he comes in this lap, I think, Corey.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think you've got to watch out here now because a few of these guys might be trying to do the undercut here and get back out there on fresh tyres and go hard. And Kurt Stenberg, that's a fantastic pit stop. He's Josh Muggleton's still sitting in pit lane.
Very nice pit stop from Mr. Stenberg there.
It's been an issue for Josh Muggleton, or he sat there for a very, very long time, coming in the podium position still, and he's going to come out way down. 39-second pit stop for Josh Muggleton, and it was 22 seconds, I believe.
Yep.
Kurt Stenberg.
Of course, we saw the undercut took huge effect for Jared Philsall at Road America.
No, Richard Hipsey gets a little bit sideways. Very aggressive. It'll be interesting to see his top two. Knight and Latham still out there. Third. Latham's got the move on James McKnight. Just get that up on the replay, guys.
A lot of cars down the pit lane. From the replay, Tony Orchard's in the lane, Dean O'Brien's in, Leighton Fine's in. So, right about pit stop time now. A few guys trying to cover the undercut.
James McKnight is really aggressive now. Wants that position back. Looks like he had a bit of a slowdown. He's got a battle to get it back. Oh, sideways there.
Jared Philsall is now officially out of the race. So, unfortunate for Jared. A lot of pace. Definitely a championship contender.
Yeah, this will be one to forget.
Three corners away from winning round one, and now unfortunately finds himself last here in round two.
I just want to touch on something, guys. I'm in discussions with Mr. Jay Kennedy about Josh Muggleton, how Kurt Stenberg managed to have a much better stop than him. It turns out that Muggo's pit stop was about 17 seconds longer than Stenberg's, and 17 seconds also happens to be the amount of time that you need to hold for speeding in the pit lane. So there's a bit of speculation that Muggo might have accidentally entered the pit lane a bit too hard.
Very easy to do here.
Yeah, so when you come out that back straight, you just hold it pinned, slight turn to the right, and the cone to the right there. And my first lap I did here the other day, I coming to pit lane, did not expect the cones to be where they were and went firing off down the lane. But it's unfortunate for Josh Muggleton. He's dropped quite a few positions.
Nice little battle here. Kurt Stenberg and Wayne Burke, 17th, 18th. Michael Hamill, Dale Richards having a nice little battle side by side.
Bale's been very quiet tonight.
Yeah, Bale obviously qualified out in 22nd. Yeah, we haven't seen much from him. Currently sitting in 12th.
He was actually in a incident on the first lap. A spun car ran into him, so he's doing well to get back up near the top 10, Bale.
He's missing the back of his car, so I assume something happened. Interesting to see where he plays out after the pit stops. He looks now like he's going to have a look up the inside of the next chicane.
This is where it's going to get a little bit interesting. Madison Downs got a bit of lap traffic in front of him with Muggo. Oh, sorry, yeah, Jared Muggleton. Can you give him a bit of room to get around?
All those guys will play pretty friendly. So they do. Bit of traffic now though for Madison. Got to contend with all the guys that are got a bit of damage, or a bit off the pace, or even pitted now. So
yeah, Michael Schreier in pits. this is where Madison probably needs to think about pitting, just so we can get out of all this lap traffic.
Yeah, but I'm sure he's got some spotters out there watching for him. You've got to work out roughly where you're going to fall back in the pack as well. Because you don't want to come out in the middle of a battle pack for guys racing for 20th. Because, you know, they'll race harder and they'll push you around a lot more than if you're racing for first back in the pack. The last thing you want is to, you know, throw away the lead to get in a boxing match at the back.
Definitely not. Talking about a boxing match, John Latham, James McKnight still fighting it out. So we've got a nice little battle here now after a pit. Stenberg having a bit of a fight. Michael Schreier has got Wayne Burke all over the back of him. Obviously Wayne Burke, tyres a little bit more worn in. Schreier dealing with fresh ones.
Wayne's got a good run though. Have a look up inside here, possibly to have a look now. So he looked like he might have rolled out of just a little bit there. I'll try and get a good run off the chicane though, and here you go, he's done it. He's got a good run. Interesting to see the way Michael Schreier goes. If he defends or not. All a little bit tame at the moment, middle of the race, and the guys, you know, some guys put it up, some other guys haven't. Got 321 laps without a safety car, so that's been a surprise to me.
Definitely, Richard Hampstead's probably praying for one, as the gap now has opened up to over 8.5 seconds between Madison and Richard.
I think it was Reece brought up an interesting stat earlier tonight that Richard has won all bar one of the Premier races since we started this series last year. So
definitely a dominating driver, Richard Hampstead, but you can never write off Madison down. Very, very fast guy, faster than nearly anything you put him in. So if he puts a little bit of time and effort into something, he's definitely competitive.
I honestly think if I was Richard, I'd pit now. I'd pit earlier, get some good tyres on, try and close the gap. But at the same time, you want something to fight with towards the end of the race. But he's got to do something. I don't think staying on the same strategy as Madison, unless we get a safety car, is really going to do anything for him.
Hey, you're exactly right, Corey. We're at the halfway point of the race now. I would have tried the new tyres early, undercut, get track position 6P on this track.
Definitely is, as John Latham and James McKnight decide to stay out again for another lap around.
At the moment, the top 11 haven't pitted, pretty much everyone else has.
I'm watching each lap that goes by who comes in, but I'm not sure if you know, Madison and Richard is trying to get better tyres towards the end.
Watching Josh Muggleton there come around the amp and had it sideways.
I think the only thing now that's going to help Richard is a safety car. I think he's left it too long for the undercut. Even if you got new tyres, I don't think you'll be able to make up 8 seconds. I think he really needs a safety car.
He's got some traffic now to deal with. He's up on Wayne Burke. Let's see Scott Connors as well. Scott Connors, one of the guys that hasn't pitted yet in this group. Scott Connors gives him a bit of room, knowing that this probably isn't his battle to fight.
Yeah, he's on a lot older tyres there, Scott Connors. He didn't really have an answer for any of those guys. James McKnight and John Latham still running third and fourth. They've been inseparable the entire race so far, having a great battle.
Yeah, fantastic race for them. It's going to be interesting to see. Obviously, they're running a very similar strategy when it comes to pits, so it might be down to who can get it done the quickest here.
I'll tell you what, they'll both be very happy actually that Muggleton had an issue in the pits. They might not be aware of it just yet, unless one of their team guys have told them it's happened, but at the moment they're probably still thinking they're racing Muggleton for that podium position.
So Muggo's trying to have a look here at Wayne Burke. So he needs to get a few positions back and make up some time. The speed here.
Not quite close enough to have a dive. He closed up a lot on the brakes though. Those guys are coming up on the battle pack. That was a long curve.
Jeez.
Those
What
guys,
aggressive there.
Oh, just up in front, Tony Autry is serving a slowdown.
Yeah,
Oh,
looks like
Kurt
Muggo's got
Stenberg
that
went through.
spot off
Oh,
Wayne
that's
as well.
awkward.
As he comes up on Ortridge.
comes onto
He
his
goes a long way
teammate.
around.
His teammate tries to send him around the long way. And Wayne Burke almost has no to get back past him.
Yeah,
Aldridge
looks like
still trying to clear it.
Two positions there for Muggo. Madison Down is in the pits. Richard Hampstead takes the lead of the race. Still yet to pit.
Yeah.
Looks like John Latham, James McKnight still going to fight it out. Looks like we also have Sandman back
Richard
on board. Sandman, are we there?
Fingers crossed, mate. Let's if I can finish the duration of the race.
Brilliant. So, sorry, Corey, go for it.
I was just going to say, just on Richard Hampstead, I'm wondering, because he's a long way off the pace for what we normally see from Richard. Something just popped into my mind. Is he, short shifting? Is he rolling out of it, trying to save fuel, and hoping for a safety car?
I don't think it's possible. I haven't done the fuel counts, but
I know there was a bit of talk before the race. I didn't want to bring it up because there's a few team people out there listening. But there was a possibility if it fell in your favour to just get it home.
I'll tell you what though, if you're ever going to do it, this is the track to do it. There's a lot of heavy braking zones. You can save a lot of fuel here on one lap.
But,
Yeah, the scary thing is, though, I don't think you want to rely on a safety car for a win, though. I think if Hampstead's got the pace, it's probably time to turn it on now.
I think now though he has to stay out. He should have gone for the undercut earlier, unless he's already got a strategy. Because if he pits now, he's going to be back to 9 seconds behind Madison. So I think he has to stay out and hope for something to happen. It looks like he will continue.
He's going to stay out there. He's definitely rolling the dice here. So obviously he's hoping for the worst, which will end up being the best for him. But definitely the way that the guys seem to be a bit more spaced out now on the field, I think his chance of a safety car is really diminished.
But of course his teammate in John Latham, he hasn't pitted yet either.
There must be a strategy there for those guys.
James McKnight still battling it out with Latham.
Just looking at Madison
Jake
down.
Burton.
Sorry, Dana.
Sorry, Jake Burton's obviously got to slow down. His car's looking worse for wear.
Just going to say, just looking at Madison down, he come out in 6th place and in clear air. So there's got to be some sort of strategy here for John Latham and Richard Hampstead that we haven't thought about yet. I can't hear him rolling out of it. Like I'm listening to him going into the hairpin. I can't hear him rolling out of it. So I'm wondering if he's just betting on trying to go longer, get a late safety car, and have the freshest tyres for a fight at the end.
Well, Lee Day's sitting in 4th. I don't think he's fuel saving at all. There was no talk of it within our team, so he's still running around out there. So they're still on available mileage, but I couldn't imagine it being too much longer until they've already come in.
Right, there you go, Richard Hampstead in.
There he goes.
So that ends that. Thinking about that one. I still don't understand. Like, I would have scored something different anyway. I'm not out there. But I think it was actually on the fuel.
John Latham, James McKnight, sideways.
Big contact! Heavy contact into the wall! Massive damage to the front of that TTL car!
Oh! Latham, we might get the safety car. The safety car that level.
Who's that? Kane into him hard, and I think the motor's gone. And it's still going. Here we go. That's in a bad spot though.
Oh, Madison Downs just coming up to the back. He manages to get past Kane. Kane gets out of the way, but wow, could this have been the safety car? But it looks like the track's cleared up, but that's massive, massive damage there. Unbelievable. Who would have thought that?
There goes Madison. Madison is gone by Richard Hampstead.
Yeah, and Hampstead's still sitting in pit lane. Gets moving now.
Just get that up on replay again, guys, so you can see what happened.
unfortunately, it looks like he's got major contact from the back there from James McKnight. Went in there a little bit too hot, made contact with the back of Latham, and Latham's just nailed that wall.
I wonder if McKnight was going to, so I'd say maybe McKnight was going to try and pit in and misjudge the timing a little bit, but that was third and fourth in this race.
Jeez,
This brings Mago back into it. Mago back up on there on a podium again. Obviously had a pretty bad stop, didn't have that kind of accident. So it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out now.
You can see Latham, who's still our current race leader at the moment. He's going to have to head to pit lane. A lot of damage to that car, but no, he's going to go on with it again.
Oh, jeez. Obviously, he's not really feeling it in that car. He's got speed.
Yeah, but Madison down now is only going to be a couple seconds behind him. 6.8 seconds behind him, so that's going to hurt him big time. After about 30 odd seconds to do the pit stop.
Now, I'm always a good fan of the old conspiracy theory. Nice to have your teammate out there a little bit slower with a little bit of a damaged car on a car that's 7 seconds in front of you.
It's interesting. I don't know. It just makes me wonder if Latham's got the meatball flag too, because, you know, normally after you have a big contact like that, you do have to take a tour down pit lane just because of the damage you got. But if he's not getting that damage and that meatball flag, then maybe he's just deciding to press on with it and probably trying to maybe make the most of a bad point stay, possibly.
Yeah, that could be the plan. Muggo, a nice little battle here. Michael Schreier, Kurt Stenberg. As McKnight pulls into his box, massive damage on his car. He'll be very disappointed in himself. Kane, just the innocent bystander in that one, as he's in pits.
You got to feel for Kane, don't you? He was just an innocent bystander, came through that chicane, and mate, the track was blocked. He had absolutely nowhere to.
Here we go, Muggo. Trying to get around Stenberg. Michael Schreier on the tail of Muggo.
Oh, Muggo's got a cut track there.
I think fairly aggressive across those curbs.
I'm amazed at how much we've seen that tonight. I know everyone's having a red hot go, but obviously they would have, felt that throughout practice, knowing that they could push the limits in certain parts of the track. But I guess when the red mist comes down, you guys are, it's just eyes forward, trying to attack these corners as much as you can. But man, so many cut tracks tonight. It's incredible.
I don't think we even pick up on it in the development series race at all, that I can remember. So Margo, he's only lost one spot there. Sorry, two.
Well, there you go. I wouldn't have picked that. He races quite well.
Kane, so that was a bit of a halfway conversation. Kane is apparently nearly 14 years old, so doing a fantastic job out there. Was doing a fantastic job out there. Obviously involved in an incident that wasn't really his fault, but great to see him out there and seeing some young blood come through.
Yeah, to qualify in the top split, that young's a good effort. I wonder how long he's been spread. I know I started when I was 14. It was actually you that got me into it, Daniel. Stumbled upon half active for the first time, looking for the Supercar game.
Sorry, Latham goes barreling into the pits, and Madison Downs got himself a bit of lap traffic to deal with.
Have a look at the times. There's a good battle between Kurt Stenberg and Michael Schreier. Schreier's done the fastest lap of his race, 36.4, which is 7-8 tenths quicker than Kurt Stenberg on that previous lap. And just behind him, lead Dave, 36.1, so he's pumped out his fastest time of the race so far. Just quickly catching these guys.
You know who... Sorry, Daniel.
Just going to say, it looks like Richard Hampstead's gamble might have paid off for him. 9.2 seconds is the gap now between Madison and Rich.
Just going back though, Kurt Stenberg's fast pit stop has now landed him on the podium. He's 35 odd seconds off the lead, but with everything that's happened with the guys ahead of him, Kurt Stenberg now finds himself on the podium. So that'll be a big boost for the young guy from Perth.
Yeah, Kurt Stenberg, a guy who's really good at his racecraft, consistent results. If he pulls off this podium, it's definitely well deserved. Michael Schreier though is looking pretty aggressive, so he's not going to get this easy. Michael Schreier all over his tail, and it looks like Lee Day wants to join in as well.
And saying that, not too far behind is Muggleton, who's recovering from that cut track penalty too. So fair bit of talent in this group of 4 cars that are all trying to get that final spot on the podium.
John Latham. Oh, here we go. John Latham's got himself in a nice little battle pack. Chris Coxhead, Tony Ortridge.
Yeah, I've even thought at the front of these guys. That's a good little battle for, what is it, 8th, 9th, 10th position.
Oh, Chris looking like he had a bit of a look there underneath Latham, but thought better of it.
John
Latham, he's carrying quite a bit of damage now. I don't know how the car would be handling for him.
Still looks pretty aggressive. Tony Ortridge over the back of Ian Ford.
Now the pit stop's shaken out. Richard Hampstead 9 seconds off Madison, so he didn't lose as much time as I thought. Madison out there on fresh tyres. It's 9 seconds between first and second, and it's 35 seconds back to third with an amazing battle between Kurt Stenberg, Michael Schreier, Lee Day, and Josh Muggleton, who's still in this now. He's fought back. So he left pit lane quite a bit after Kurt Stenberg. He's now on the back of that battle pack.
So guys, how much money do you think you need to slip to race control to get a safety car out there?
Probably only about $1. I think Jay's pretty broke, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly. Obviously all those expensive ingredients he puts into his chicken palmy is hard to pay for, so...
Conversion rate to Mexican dollar should be right, wouldn't it? Pesos, whatever they use?
Pesos, yeah. Yeah, pesos, that's it.
Oh,
pesos,
easy.
if not pesos, you can just trade more chips, I
Guys, battle I'm watching is for 23rd and 24 between Jason Dickinson and Scott Connors. It was an absolute cracker of a battle, these two guys.
Yeah, these guys 1 lap down, but you wouldn't believe it. John Hammer and Tong. Oh! Scott Connors, a bit of a moment. Looks like Kurt Stenberg up front has managed to open up a gap a little bit now between him and Michael Schreier. Michael Schreier taking on a bit of heat here from Lee Day and Josh Muggleton.
Yeah, I think that's what Kurt would have wanted with Muggo catching up with these guys and Lee Day starting to put a lot of pressure on Michael. Kurt just being able to just get his head down and focus as Schreier touches the ball on the right side, exiting the chicane. I think the more that Michael focuses on Lee Day behind him, the better it will be for Kurt, because he can just put his head down and not worry about him. As Lee Day now got a good run there.
Oh, here he goes.
Over the inside.
Hit this done, he's got the run.
Yeah, he's definitely got position here, get it there up the inside, under brakes, nice little move. All started on the exit of that turn, got the power down and really carried that right down the straight, nice move.
Muggo's going to have a look here as well.
Yeah, Schreier looks like he's struggling with a bit of time for it, doesn't he?
Yeah, but Muggo will be on the wrong side of the racetrack. Oh no, he's going to break deep. The crossover. Nice move by Muggo. Holds on. Sideways. The track school Commodore gets on the throttle again. Holds position, but nice little mix up there between him and Schreier.
Hard on the brakes and locked the rears into the hairpin.
Muggo's going to have to swallow his...
Oh, it's not over yet, though.
Schreier's going to have a look back.
He's thinking about it, isn't he? Oh, no, thinks better of it.
He knows when the days... Oh, guys, we're trying to get a replay of that. some pretty exciting stuff down there at the hairpin. Oh, someone, who's that? Sean Kelly. Pulling off to the side there.
Yeah, he's multiple laps down from when he had that incident with Maris earlier in the race. Number one, it's night's gone from bad to worse.
Question is now, can Lee Day catch up with Kurt and put some pressure on? Still a lot of laps left in this race, so you can still have a crack at him.
I'm hearing through some team talk, Corey, that Kurt Stenberg's realised he's in third position. He's shut his mic and everything down, so he can't get distracted. He's got his head down, he's going for it.
Ah, smart boy. That's exactly what you need to do.
He knows he's got the fuel, he's just got to get to the end now.
Well, it's paying off too, because last time round 36.8 for Kirk Stenberg, Lee Day 37.4, so that margin is opening up a little bit. And of course, Lee Day, we saw that mix-up with Day, Muggleton and Trail not too many laps ago, so that's given him a good chance to do a bit of head-down bum up.
That's exactly. Yeah, Kurt Stenberg, a guy from, if I remember from last race at Road America, the guy who won Split 2, when we were talking about him then, we said he should be a guy that should be in a Split 1 and he should be competing for top 10s in Split 1, so it was quite surprising to see him in there. And here he is, sitting on a podium at the moment for round 2, so great result.
Right.
Oh, John Labour, oh! Said, they went nearly to forward for their last chicane.
There we go. Has a look. He's on the wrong side of the road here though.
Oh, they're both
going to hold it.
Oh, he's still there though.
No.
Labour can't move. You've got to run this down into turn 3. Foxhead's going to have the line.
Yeah, he's still going to battle. They're going to go side by side through the lane. I'm not giving up. Oh, he's going to hold on.
Looks like it's something through. Not quite.
There was almost contact there next to the chicane. Good bit of drive by all those guys. Just up ahead, Lee Day. Something's happened to Lee Day. He's only just ahead of John Latham now.
Yeah, another slowdown, I think.
But now unleashes Josh Muggleton to try and attack Kurt. Just back on Kurt, like you were saying before, Dean, about should have been in Split 1. I know last Saturday, when we were on last Saturday, and he packed it up and called it quits. He thought he'd done enough, but Jazz got knocked out.
And it's no disrespect to Kurt or anyone that's in the second split, because it just goes to show how competitive this field is. With 80 cars, and there's absolutely nothing splitting the time. So there's points in qualifying where you've actually done enough, and then you find yourself a couple of guys who do the extra miles, do some more laps, and jump up through the session. So it's so easy to be in the second split.
Jake Burnham massively sideways through the last chicane. He's got a slowdown tonight. And just behind him, Foxhead's got in front of, who is that, John Latham now in that damaged TTL car.
Still going, John Latham.
Oh! Foxhead's he's hit the grass and has sent the car sideways there.
They were very lucky to get away with that one. I thought for sure John Latham was going to be pointing at the fence.
Latham would be wondering what the hell had just happened. He wouldn't have been able to see Foxhead touch the grass.
Well, this is where it's going to really start to get interesting up in front here for Kurt Stenberg. Kurt Stenberg is actually, the last 2 laps around has been a little bit slower than what Josh Muggleton is. So Josh Muggleton's starting to reel him in. It's going to come down to the wire, this one.
Yeah, Michael Schrader's going with Muggo here too. So as Muggo claws up, Michael's just following him around and trying to creep up on him as well, so it'd be a 3-way battle then.
Schrader a lot faster than what Josh Muggleton or Kurt Stenberg was around.
Well, just behind them, look at Ian Ford. He's closed right up as well. Ian Ford's getting a finish battle.
Last lap was over a second. 1:36.156 last lap around. Actually, his last 4 laps have all been 36s. Comparing that to Michael Schrader, Josh Muggleton and Kurt Stenberg, who have been floating around the 1:37s.
And they've all been low 36s for Ian Ford versus the guys ahead of him in the high 36s or low 37s. So, and this lap wide done it again at 36.2. Guys ahead of him in the again Kurt Stenberg 36.9, Muggles 37.1. So, Ian Ford right in this battle now.
Haven't said much about him for this race, so it'll be interesting to see.
He's been pretty quiet, hasn't he? I haven't really mentioned his name. I looked back from behind these guys and it was a bit of a shock that he was even that close. Across to Reece Gardner down in the pit lane. I believe he's got some more news for us.
Yeah, guys, I wasn't sure if you caught it, but there was an incident on track between Renz Brookman and Dale Niche. Niche was in front of Brookman coming into the final chicane and braked quite unusually early, and Renz was taken by surprise and went into the back of him, so he sustained quite a bit of damage, and the stewards are investigating that incident at the moment, but they I do believe that a penalty will be applied to Niche for that incident.
Yeah, let's have a look at Renz's car there. It's got a fair bit of damage. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, very unfortunate.
Sorry, while all that was happening too, we were talking to Reece, Ian Ford actually got a cut track penalty, so he's dropped off the back of that battle between Muggington and Schreier. So, yeah, those cut track penalties are working out very costly for some of these guys.
Oh, I can just back on that topic of the accident before between Niche and Brookman. I dare say we will be seeing Dale Niche travel down the pit lane because that was different. He slammed the brakes on down that back straight and then turned hard right and then back to the left. There's nowhere for Renz to go, so you might be right there, Reece. The lane penalty might be coming to Dale.
I'm hearing word of a points penalty as well. In addition,
looks like one of our harsh punishments are going to be handed out to. That will see what happens. Guys, I haven't looked at this too much because the battles haven't been happening there. Madison down. Over 10 seconds the gap now between him and Richard Hampstead.
Just checking out the lap times between Down and Hampstead. Looks like Hampstead was 7/10 slower that last time round, so might have just been a little bit of a moment or caught up in some traffic. We'll check the times as they cross now. So a 36.3 for Down, a 37.0 for Hampstead. So times really aren't there.
No, Hampstead, and obviously Hampstead's on the fresher tyres as well, so obviously he hasn't got the car underneath him that he would like to be competitive. Madison Downs obviously got that car really dialed in for this track, which is good to see.
Now the thing to wonder is, Hampstead's probably getting close to having enough time behind him. Now, hypothetically, if we've got a safety car, there'd be enough time for Hampstead to duck into pit lane, get some fresh tyres, and go back out.
You were caught up on this safety car, aren't you?
I thought we'd see one after the carnage in that development race.
Whoa.
But imagine the battle with Madison on old tyres, Hampstead on new tyres. It's actually been a surprise to see. I mean, these guys are all, like I said, very, very, very good drivers, but I think right now, spice it up a lot in front.
That's the thing. I was talking to the stewards before the race, and one thing that they hinted at was if people tried saving fuel and sort of not getting as long of a pit stop, then if there was a safety car, then it would play into their hands. And just getting word now from Jay that the penalty for Dale Niche will be points only, so no pit lane penalty for him.
This was a bit. It's probably not really fighting for position where he's currently sitting. So the point's going to be applied. We'll look at Tony Autridge and Lee Day. Nice little battle here. Tony Autridge actually doing a fantastic job at the moment. Started out as 16th, currently sitting 7th.
Having a look, we've been racing now for exactly an hour basically, all green. So if this was NASCAR, mate, we'd have a competition caution. I'm pretty keen for this safety car.
You hedged all your bets on it, haven't you, Corey?
I think I'll have to give Jay a few bags of Doritos and call it competition caution. Just back up front now, Kurt Stenberg still doing a great job. I mean, they've lost another 10 seconds to the lead. It's now 40 seconds off the lead. but doing a good job to hold Josh Muggleton and Michael Shea off. I think the more
Yeah.
those guys battle, the more it's helping him.
I mean, Ian Ford getting back on it again. See after he's cut track.
Oh, Sam Sutton dropped out of the race.
Oh no.
Oh, he'll be kicking himself after such a fantastic qualifying result. To have everything kind of not go his way in this race.
Problem with Ian
Ford.
Here we go. Have a look at Michael Schreier.
He's on it.
Oh, straight
ahead.
Careful.
Oh, here we go. Out of trouble. Tony Aldridge lead 8 to join in.
And that helps out Michael Schreier, unlocks him a little bit. And now focus on trying to get back on the back of Muggleton.
Whoa! I go a bit excited.
This battle, look at this battle. Lead 8, Tony Aldridge, Ian Ford, Michael Schreier and Josh Muggleton.
Aaron Hamilton.
He got DQ, started from the back of the grid, and he's now currently in position. He's had a great race coming back through.
He's currently sitting.
Well, he started in the 39th grid position, so that's a pretty...
Because he's got Vale Ritchie's company right behind.
Hey, on the back, Tony Aldridge.
Yeah, he got a really good run out of that chicane. Wasn't there enough to get in down the inside of the hairpin.
I just got the fact that there is a incident time you do something like going off track or cutting the course or making contact with another car, making contact with wall, etc. And there is an incident limit in this race. You are not allowed to go over 30 incidents. So yeah, some guys might automatically.
Here we go, Muggo. Nice little battle. Ian Ford. He'll be kicking himself if he's all just falls that work again. He's got the speed on these boys, so he'll be looking to get around.
Yeah.
He's struggling. Come on, his car gets a little bit.
Ian Ford definitely does have the speed. He's just done a 36 flat in front. Schroeder's just done the fastest lap of his race on a 36.3, so 3 attempts there. And Muggo on a 36.6 or nearly a 36.7, so they've got speed on Muggo at the moment, these two. As lead day goes down the outside. Oh, Ian Ford's on the inside of Australia. Lead day goes around the outside of Tony Aldridge. The guys that pitted later, it's going to help. Their tyres will be coming to their own power. The guys that pitted early, they'll be screaming for new rubber.
Just looking up front at the moment, Madison Down has had this race pretty much all his own way. The gap's now 10.1 seconds. I don't think we really even mentioned him too much or focus on him that much, but he's look, his car's clean and he just almost runs off the racetrack actually. His cars look good. The teammate's car behind him not so much. So it's been a really good effort by Madison and one of his best drives I've seen for a while. Definitely like the old days.
Yeah, he'd be excited to be back in form.
It's funny because not too long ago, I actually caught up with Madison at the Bathurst 12 hour, and he actually made comment during then just saying that how he wasn't quite coming to grips with the Commodore, but I know the boys have been working pretty hard back at CTR as far as setup and trying to get on top of that, and obviously no doubt tonight he's fairly comfortable with the car because he's looking the goods.
Yeah, he's kept it very clean and consistent. Lap time suggests that. No slowdowns, none really to speak of, which is a big plus. I think pretty much everyone in the field has had some kind of slowdown so far. Ian Ford has a look down the inside of Strayer. Strayer's held it wide, they're going to have a drag. Strayer's got the better run.
Actually, while watching this pack too, looks like Muggo's just slowly pulling in Kurt a little bit too, because it's about, what, 2/10 each lap or something?
Ford thinks better of that side. Just having a look at Ford was sticking his nose out there.
But yeah, I was looking at that too, Sam. And the more that Schrader and Ford battled in these last couple of laps, I think Josh has just pulled away from a little bit and caught up to Kurt.
Ian Ford's going to have a look. He's got the inside.
Oh,
Trying to shake the door. Try to close the door.
Oh, good job by these guys. Awesome, running plenty of room.
Yeah, fantastic run there from Ian Ford.
Oh, Ian Ford.
I think Schrader tagged the ball, but I think he did tag.
Actually,
he'll find Schrader tag the ball. And Lee Day with those guys. Lee Day's now tagging on the back.
Corey's hoping for it. Corey wants someone in the wall.
I think it's a bit late now. Safety car's been in the race, but just looking at Josh Muggleton, he's getting closer and closer to the back of Kurt Stenberg here. He's got a little bit of traffic too.
Yeah, 7/10 last time round. So Muggleton took a nice little slice out of Kurt Stenberg. Like you said, Kurt's just got a little bit of traffic there he's going to get round.
He won the development race last round rather, but it's a looking at I think possibly his first podium too in the online Premier Series. So as the laps wind down and Muggo gets closer and closer, he'll be feeling the pressure.
Definitely will be feeling the pressure. It's not very often that you can get a veteran like Josh Muggleton and be beating him. So to be in a battle pack with Muggo is definitely one of those things that you won't forget. The Schrader battle continues on.
Just look at
Day.
Muggleton closed the gap again that lap. I reckon we could have a lap, 1 or 2 laps here. Muggleton will fly on him. And that's all he's got left in the race though too. I didn't realise we're already on lap 43. So it's going pretty quick.
I tell you what, if Muggleton manages to catch up to Stenberg, it'll be just like that. Remember that race back in Mid-Ohio, guys, when Kurt Stenberg was first making his mark at V8.
Ian Ford, slow down. Sorry to butt in there, Reece. Ian Ford, slow down. Lee Day's going through on Schrader. He could get 2 positions in 1 lap here.
Wow, it's all gone wrong for Ian Ford all of a sudden.
Get it, throwing it down there. He's got it. He's got Schrader.
Lee Day, amazing move there.
How costly has that been for Ford? We've seen all night that he's had definite pace on everyone else, but just caught out a couple of times by those cut track penalties.
And now Aldridge is right on him too.
Fantastic.
Just back up front, I mean it's too late now, but the gap to Madison has come down from about 11 seconds to 8.4. So Hampstead's might have found a little bit of pace, or Madison's just rolling out of it.
Oh, Madison's short on fuel maybe.
It's not short fuel at the pit stop. Maybe Ford will get the safety car back here. Muggleton, he's dead set, almost close enough to try and send it on Kurt.
Yeah, he's definitely. He's almost got enough room there. He'll be sitting there. Stenberg.
Oh, if Muggo wasn't close, he definitely is now.
Easy,
Muggo, get the power on.
Oh my goodness.
2 laps. This will be the most pressure Kurt's ever had in 2 laps of sim race. I can tell you that right now.
And the hardest bit for Stenberg now is to make sure that he doesn't spend too much time looking in the rear view. He needs to look forward, concentrate on hitting his marks. He knows he's got a car. Muggo's looking up the inside. The track's still coming off. Looking up the inside. Can he go side by side?
Oh, Muggo gets a bit crossed up on the exit there. He stays behind for now.
Now what sort of run has Muggleton got? Can he look for up the inside under brakes? It's a little bit too far back, so working in Stenberg's favour there. A little bit of track fit too coming up for these guys.
Oh, Kurt took a lot of curve there with the car a little bit unsettled on the exit. I think Josh is still a little bit too far back here in the hairpin. But if he gets a good run out of here, pucker in first, put the foot down, and have a crack maybe with the last chicane. You can tell
he's going to run. He's going to go inside. Oh!
But Stenberg's got the run because he was able to get on the throttle just a little bit sooner than Muggo.
Just as Muggleton hit the throttle, you could hear it lit up. He just got a little bit of wheel spin out of the corner, and Stenberg capitalised on that, carried that momentum all the way down this straight, and that'll give him a little bit more breathing room
We've started our last lap.
Oh, Margot takes a lot of curb. Oh, I saw it.
Jeez. Oh, behind him. Lee
Lee,
Tate.
it was huge sideways.
This is going to be a huge moment here for Kurt Stenberg. Meanwhile, I think Madison's going to be getting pretty close to winning this thing.
As we then cross to our race leader, Madison Down, who was on the back straight, coming up to the final chicane for the final time. This has been an amazing performance from Madison Down, absolutely dominant from the start.
Yeah, Madison Down still has a chance to spin it here.
Yeah, he's made it through the last.
He's got no more curves to stuff him up. He's going to take the win. He'll be excited to have that thing back in form. Madison Down, showing he's a contender for this series.
Further back, Richard Hampstead gets second. I think Muggleton may be too far back. That little slide off the hairpin last time was what killed him. He's going to have the biggest move he's ever made down here, but he's way too far back now. So Kurt Stenberg, barring any problems in the last chicane, I don't want to do it to him because that'll be the most awkward conversation later. But he brakes nice and early. Look at Muggleton close right up. Nice and early, uses the curb. Gets her out of there.
Looks like he's going to go nose first there.
Kurt Stenberg, third position.
Amazing job from Stenberg. Awesome job.
Yeah, well done, Kurt Stenberg. Terrific driving to hold off Muggo there at the end. Great pressure. You can tell he's happy. He's already doing donuts.
Stenberg wastes no time celebrating.
Renz Brookman, his position coming over the line. Looks like he's running still putting around. Good to say, looks like this series is going to be starting to heat up.
Gerald Muggleton and Wayne Burke. It's a drag race to the finish line. I think Jared's going to get it. Yeah, it does. That was for 16th and 17th position. Jared Muggleton.
Madison Down, our race winner. Canada, which is fantastic to see. First time since the first race of the very first Premier Series that Richard Hampstead hasn't won a race.
Looks like Madison Down is out of fuel actually. He's unable to make it back around to the pit lane. He's at a how far do you win by? 7? I think it's an 8-second penalty, isn't it? Hampstead the lead.
Nice lobby there.
Yeah, so he was close on fuel. Maybe he was saving a little bit towards the back end of that race where Hampstead was closing in.
Yeah, fantastic run from those guys. No safety cars for that one either, so shows how clean these guys are. We had a few big incidents, a fair few off tracks. So it would be nice to see the incident count at the end of this race. But yeah, fantastic run. What a race. Kurt Stenberg in third position. Wouldn't have guessed it at the start. Alright guys, let's have a look at the race results. Madison Down in number 1, Richard Hampstead. 2nd, Kurt Stenberg. 3rd, Josh Muggleton. 4th, Lee Day. 5th, Michael Schreier in 6th, Tony Autridge 7th, Ian Ford 8th, Chris Coxhead 9th, and John Latham in 10th.
Yeah, and losing that position right at the end is Renz Brookman in 11th, Leighton Fine 12th, 13th went to Nigel Baines. Aaron Hamlin, terrific drive from the back of the field to get 14th. Bale Ritchie's in 15th, Jared Muggleton 16th, 17th went to Wayne Burke. Then cars that were a lap down was Dean O'Brien, Michael Healy and Michael Hammond in 20th. Over the page, Jake Blackwell was 21st, Scott Connors in 22nd, 23rd went to Jason Dixon, Heath Brennan in 24th, Todd Parks 25th, 26th Dale Nish, Jake Burton 2 laps down now in 27th, Sean Kelly, Martin Carroll and David Moore rounded out your top 30.
31st. Oh, sorry. 31st position is Alan Meyer. 32nd is Kane Kugamiya. Sam Sutton, heartbreaking result, 33rd, 9 laps down. James McKnight, 34th position. 35th is Chris Dickinson. 36th is Corey Preston, followed by Jared Filsell, pretty much at the opposite end of the field to what he really should have been. George Maris also down in 38th position, and your field is rounded out by Brock Salmon, 44 laps down.
Yes, there's movers and shakers throughout that race, some big names down the back end of the field. Some fast guys. Sam Sutton, he had a lot of pace in qualifying, 33rd, he'd be disappointed. Obviously, Jared Filsell as well, 37th, he was another guy, and Maris, 38th, they both had a lot of pace, those guys, so nice to forget.
Yeah, definitely a few guys will be writing off this race, but it's definitely put the championship into a bit of a mixed bag. Some contenders that we wouldn't have guessed straight off the bat. So Kurt Stenberg, fantastic run from him. Josh Muggleton looks like he's starting to find his form again, and he'll be battling for podiums and probably wins by the end of this season if he keeps going the way that he's going. Jared Filsell, though, he will be devastated with that result.
It's no surprise, guys. We've got Madison Down, a winner for round 2. He's walked back to the pits from running out of fuel, and he's made it up into the commentary box first.
Yeah, g'day guys. Bit of a long walk back, but awesome to finally get a win. How long's that been? It's been like I think 3/4 of a year or something. Round 1 of the test series was the last race I won, so it's been a long time between drinks. So nice to get the Ultimate Karting Sydney Commodore back up there and have the pace for once. It's been a long time.
It's definitely been a while between drinks for you. You're actually probably getting that close to getting the has-been hashtag that Mitchell McLeod gets. So it's good to see you back up there, mate, and smacking off a hammer for a win.
Yeah, not nearly. I was copping it from hammer left, right, and centre, and all my teammates. You know, I was copping it everywhere. So nice to be able to prove to myself that I've still got it as such, and that's half the thing. I knew tonight I was going to be a good shot, and I haven't been this nervous before a race. I knew I had good pace, and when you're almost the favourite going into the race, it makes you more nervous than what you'd normally be. So I knew this race was mine for the taking, and it was good to actually convert it.
Now, mate, I mentioned to the boys in the commentary box that not too long ago when we caught up at the Bathurst 12 hour, you were saying that you didn't think you'd quite got your head around the Commodore, but you certainly got that sorted for tonight.
Yeah, I've got to say a big thank you actually to Josh Muggleton. He put in a bit of work this week, and although I didn't exactly run what he had, I did use his setup as a base, and it was strongly influenced by him. And it took curbs beautifully. It was very well balanced. It looked after its tyres really well. So I thought we had a good car at round 1, but hopefully this car's even better for the season and converts well track to track, because as I said to you at Bathurst, I didn't think we were going to be anywhere, and we were a long way behind on setup going into this season. So it's nice that we've had 2 pretty good rounds where we've been on the pace. So fingers crossed we can keep that going.
Yeah, definitely. It's good to see you back up there and going for it. The man who was close, but no cigar, Richard Hampstead. It's been a while since you've been in second, huh?
Yeah, well, you you can't win every race, so I knew the day was coming sooner or later, and earlier in the week when I saw Madison's times in pre-quali, I knew it was going to be very, very likely to be this week. So, to be honest, I'm just happy to finish second, because, for a lot of pre-quali and even a lot of quali tonight, I wasn't even second. I was 5th or 6th, so just happy to be second. Just didn't have the pace this week.
So your qualifying result, that wasn't a plan to put in that last lap? You were actually struggling there in quali for a while?
Yep, I was struggling completely. I have no pace at all. I've just been struggling this week all along. That quali lap, just probably one of the best quali laps I've ever done, I think, because I was only a couple of hundredths off my optimal, and I just very, very fortunate to get that, because it probably kept me out of a lot of trouble back in the pack.
So working this out, this is the second race that you have not won in every single Premier race. So you've had a pretty good run at this.
Yeah, it's been a great run. Like, haven't really had that kind of success before in sim racing. I probably won't again, but we'll just keep trying, see what happens. As long as it's not like I don't become Madison of last season, win the first race and then don't win another for the rest of the season. So I hope that doesn't happen, and hopefully next week we can push him a bit harder.
Well, we'll pray that that curse doesn't fall upon you, and you'll be up there making it very interesting with hopefully Jared Filsell and a few of the other guys in the mix making a bit of a comeback. So it looks like you're in for a pretty tough season.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be pretty tough. I think a couple of guys had some issues tonight because the field was pretty tight, but a bit spread out during the race. But yeah, it's going to be a tough season.
All right, let's move along to a guy that managed to pull himself up onto a podium, Kurt Stenberg. What a run, mate.
I don't even know what to say. I can't believe it. From winning the dev race last week to a podium this week, when both my teammates throughout the week have been giving me that much shit, and I've...
Well, just to let you know, you've just broken the PG rating, so now this has been boosted up into M. So we've been pretty good. I mean, we've been trying to watch our mouths because we got warned, and you've just broken that rule. So, but that's okay. You deserve it. You did a fantastic job. So we'll let that one slip.
I just can't believe it. My teammates have been, as they demonstrated in quali, been so much faster all week than me, and I've been going, what have I been doing, and what am I doing? But I just kept it consistent in that race, and I guess it just paid off. Muggo scared me at the end there, though.
Yeah, it was definitely starting to apply the pressure, but you definitely kept him off and had a fantastic result. So hopefully this is a sign of things to come from you, and we see you up there battling for podiums more often.
I hope so. I put in quite a fair bit of effort this week, so I'd like to thank Sam for his work on the setup because it's been awesome. So without him, we wouldn't be anywhere.
All right, before we lose our PG rating, we're going to move on to Josh Muggleton. Josh, how'd you go? Try and keep it PG.
Why is that? What happened?
People just dropping words all around here. Some
Gotcha.
people a little bit too excited. Huh? How are you going?
Yeah.
You're starting to find your form again.
Yeah, it's taken me a while to find any speed in this car. I didn't like it for a long time, but seem to have found a set that I like and suits my driving style. But I got back to fourth in the end after a 15-second hold penalty for speeding in pits. So pretty happy with that. And then that was after starting in 13th or something. Had a bit of a mishap in qualifying. My wife broke a glass, so I had to check and see if she was alright and escaped. And I only got one lap in quali, so that was pretty good.
This is a problem of not knowing your priorities, mate. She broke a glass.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
she'll be fine.
No, that's right.
No,
Yeah.
but fantastic. Obviously, you didn't have the best qualifying result, but managed to slip back in there, and you're almost there on the podium. Obviously, a few cut tracks that you didn't expect, which a lot of people were struggling with. Obviously, going a little bit too hard around there.
I only had one slowdown. The rest of it was just tyres. I worked them pretty hard to get back after the penalty and just had nothing left at the end. So, pretty happy with that. Fourth with one qualifying lap and a hold penalty. So, pretty good.
So we're going to start seeing you battling up there for a win very soon?
Oh, hopefully, mate. I think I'm still a fair way off the other guys in pace. But, we'll give it a shake.
Now, I'm not going to plug you. I'm going to make you plug it yourself. But you're currently on TV. Is this right?
Yeah, 6 p.m. Saturday nights on 1HD. GT Academy TV show. I think we've just had the second episode now, so 2 to go. We're down to 3 more contestants. Check it out. It's good fun watching. It's a great experience that we had over there and something that I'll never forget. It's done now, and back here and still working away, working on sponsorship and all that sort of stuff. Got a few drives locked away already for the rest of the year, so just trying to take that next step up and make something a bit more out of it, and hopefully keep moving up.
Well, we definitely got our support of V8s online, so hopefully it all works out. Is it weird watching yourself on TV? Is it a little bit awkward?
Yeah, it's not too bad. It is a little bit weird. It is a little bit weird, but I'm happy so far with how it's coming across. So it could be worse. Let's put it that way.
Oh, right. So there's a behind the scenes thing that we don't know about? Got any
No.
video of this that you can share?
No. I'm just saying it's good. I'm enjoying it so far, and happy with what I'm coming up with. So yeah.
Fantastic, guys. Make sure you tune in and check it out. Check out Muggo Nation. Get behind him. Hopefully he gets something really, really cool coming up soon, and hopefully we see you getting a win really soon, Muggo.
Sounds good.
All right, let's cross over to Mr. Ian Ford, who had a bit of an up and down race. A lot of ups, but the downs cost him big time. How was that?
Oh, that was an absolutely crazy race. It just was one of those things you just had to keep on trying to survive, and I made one little error at the end there and literally cost myself a chance to fight it out for the last podium spot, and that's probably a bit of a bummer and a bit disappointed, but the race pace we had is definitely positive heading into the next couple of races and stuff.
That was something that we were all talking about here up in the comms box, was your race pace. And every time we started seeing you slip up and get a bit closer and in that position, you had a cut track and it just didn't seem to play out for you the way that you wanted. But you definitely have the race pace, which is a good thing moving forward.
Yeah, definitely a great thing moving forward. Like, the car tonight was just a little bit unstable with the different weather in this race, and every time I got up behind another car, I just lacked that bit of confidence on, hoping they hit the right spot so I can hit the right spot, and I'd always, take that bit of extra caution where on normal tracks you'd be fine, but over here, you get a slow down or, you go out, scrape the wall, and I just put my head down. There's no point in doing anything other than, trying to do quali pace. If you got the car, you may as well. And that's all I did, was just absolutely flog the car all night long, and almost paid off. But top 10 is definitely a way to go. It'll keep us in a strong position in the championship, and the Maverick Welding Holden will rise again, and hopefully we'll challenge for the podium next time.
So you definitely think you've got the speed to be up there fighting for podiums?
Oh, definitely at the moment. There's Richard, whoever it is, Madison, all those sort of boys. It's they're definitely going to be hard to beat. But when this car's on the limit, I'll be on the limit with it, and I'll just drive it as hard as I can. If I don't get a podium, I'll hopefully be fourth. But that's all I can do. And with a few updates coming to all cars apparently, with suspension changes and stuff, maybe it'll level out the playing field once again. But hopefully we get on top of it and end up on top again.
Well, here's hoping for, mate. We always love chucking a bit of a mix into the bag, and hopefully we'll see you on a podium real soon.
Thanks, boys, and I definitely hope the organisers have about 1,000 laps of Iron Park lined up for next Pro.
All right, lucky last for the night for drivers, Aaron Hamilton. How was that, Aaron?
Oh, it's bloody awesome. Yeah, tough race. Just stay off the curbs, stay off the walls, and don't hit anyone, and you'll do pretty well by the looks of it. Looked like some people didn't go as well as others.
No, well, the joys of one person doing really well is someone has to do really bad. But you weren't one of those people. You managed to come back and get some positions.
Yeah, I have to say, I think getting disqualified in qualifying was the best thing I could have done, because if I was in that mid-pack, which is probably where I would have been if I qualified, I would have probably been involved in one of the incidents early on. So just a battle of attrition down at the back, and in the 5 laps from the start, it seemed like I was already moved up about 15 positions. So it's a good race.
Yeah, definitely a lot of movers out there. How are you feeling about the racing so far? Do you think you've got enough in it to be fighting up there for consistent top 10s?
Maybe not top 10, only if I'm lucky, but Oran Park's coming up, but I reckon Ian's going to have a podium there, and maybe a top 10. I love that track, and I always seem to do pretty well at it. So we'll see. Top 10 is a stretch goal.
Go for it, mate. We like to see a bit of a mix in there, so make it happen, and you'll never know what will happen between everyone else. But thanks for joining us in the com box. I think you were the biggest mover out of everyone in that race, so you did an awesome job, and we'll look forward to seeing you for the next round.
Yeah, thank you, and thank you for the broadcast. It's really wonderful.
Thanks, mate. All right, let's move on to our stewards for the night, Mr. Jay Kennedy and Simon Black. How's that, guys?
That was a little bit better than the first split.
Yeah, definitely a pretty good race actually. Lots of good battles and lots of side by side. As you would expect with 40 cars on the grid, there was a few incidents, but generally pretty good stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Some obviously a few incidents in there that you guys are going to go back and have a look at.
I think the whole of the first split will have, the second split we'll have to go back and watch again. And I think that the lap 1, turn 1, 2, 3 incident that brought out the safety car will get reviewed countless numbers of times.
You should just make it easier and just apply a penalty to everyone.
Oh, you'd be first, mate.
Yeah. So we had no safety car.
Yeah, I actually was going to say before the race that I don't think we'll have a safety car, but there wasn't really an incident that could have justified one. Possibly the incident with George Maris, Sean Kelly, and Jake Burton could have had a safety car, but the guys got away pretty quick, so that would have probably been the only one that may have brought out a safety car. The only possible other one may have been with John Latham and James McKnight if John had blown an engine and wasn't able to pull away, but other than that, it was all pretty clean in regards to possible safety cars.
Guys are pretty good keeping themselves out of harm's way once something happened. So I suppose that's a positive thing going forward, and obviously moving into the next races with this high quality, we should hopefully not see too much pressure on you guys.
I know I'm going to look forward to the 5-week break, so between now and the next one.
Yeah, I think that'll be good.
I think we need 5 weeks actually just to review the first 3 rounds, because there's still some stuff in race 1 that we still want to look back over again and double check and triple check. So we'll enjoy the next 5 weeks.
Guys, I think we might start saying bye to everyone. So thanks for putting it on for us, guys. Obviously we're on a bit of a break now, but we'll keep you guys updated with everything that's happening behind the scenes and what's going on. So
you're very welcome, and thank you to everybody in the broadcast crew as well.
Thanks. A little bit. All right, let's start wrapping up everyone in the broadcast crew. Massive thanks to Stephen Sandman Clark for joining us and stuffing up race 2 so he could join us as well. So good having you in here, mate.
Mate, thank you. It's a shame a couple of technical difficulties on this end, but didn't get to be as involved as what I liked. But who knows? If Jay keeps knobbling my car and I don't make top split, then I might have to pop in here a little bit more often.
It's a good scam to keep you in the com box, that's for sure. Massive thanks to Rhys Gardner for his videos and all his insight into the tracks and also what's happening behind the scenes. Thanks for joining us, Rhys.
Thank you very much for having me, guys. Really, really enjoyed this race, and I'm definitely looking forward to Oran Park in, I think it's 5 weeks' time.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
5 weeks' time, so we get a little bit of a break, which is good. But then we go to what was one of the most iconic tracks in Australia, and I'm sure you're going to have an awesome video lined up for us. 5 weeks to make a brilliant one, Rhys. So hopefully we see that, and yeah, looking forward to it.
Pressure's on.
Oh, it's going to be good. Massive thanks to Seb, who obviously is stuck behind the director's seat and making sure all this happens to us and feeding information into our ears. So massive thanks to him for making this happen. And also a massive thanks to my 2 co-hosts for tonight. Corey Slade, good to have you back in the box.
Yeah, it's been a long time, isn't it? So anyway.
Has been a long time. We'll think twice before we ask you back in. No, it's been great having you in here, mate. So hopefully we get you back in here again soon. Hopefully we get you back for Oran Park, which should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, Oran Park will be good, but the break will be... I've already done one bloody round. The break will be nice for the old voice cords to cool down.
And I'll get the missus to get you some tea and honey just to make your throat feel a little better.
Oh, I should have seen the weird looks I was getting during that when I was yelling.
We'll get you some lozenges sent over. Clayton Brooksy, good to have you
mate.
in the box again. We get 5 weeks off. How good's that?
5 weeks, sensational. Might do a bit of racing instead.
Oh, we'll try to race anyway. We'll look like we're doing something useful, but we'll make sure we keep you guys up to date with everything that's going on, anything that happens. Obviously, you can also tune into our American series. They've got NASCAR going. They've also got V8s Online America, which happens on a Saturday, so you can still get your V8 fix. Thanks for joining me. Thanks to OSR. Thanks to the crew at V8s Online. We'll see you guys in 5 weeks' time at Oran Park.